What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Movie Buffed. We are in episode... Dan, what episode are we in? Is number 4? Number 5?
Episode 4?
Episode 4
There's
of
episode
Movie
5.
Buffed. Episode 5 of Movie Buffed.
What? Run through it. Which ones have we done?
Oh, don't do this to me now, Dan.
Okay.
Free to play.
Free to play.
Wizard. When we did the Liquid documentary. When we did Blade Runner.
And
now we are on...
Wow, we're on our 5th. Oh my gosh, halfway
it's
to
flying,
10.
Baby.
Congratulations.
Here we are back in the BTS warehouse yet again. We got, as you hear, the lovely Dan Najarian, our content director.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And
My name's Dan Najarian.
We also got our man Ken joining us once again.
I
for
watch
an episode
movies,
of Movie Buffed.
too.
Now, Ken, you were the biggest advocate for this movie.
Yeah.
Probably. Why? Why did you want us to watch Hackers so
I am
badly?
a hacker.
You are a hacker.
I really relate with these guys. I feel like it's fun to watch this because... You know, if you look at all the things that were going on now, back then it's really funny to see how they handle it. And the movie holds up extremely well. It's fun to watch now. It feels like it was made now.
What's crazy is, like, a lot of the stuff they have in this movie, people were like, none of that's ever going to happen. Like, we think that they were imitating things that were really happening. They weren't. They were predicting what was going to happen, they thought would happen soon, and it's all come so true that it feels like so accurate now.
And... one thing I did not notice about this movie is just exactly how well they show, like, they visually represent hacking. Because it's a boring fucking thing. If you actually, you're just sitting there, it's like code. You're watching.
The first thing you would think about is, like,
dumb.
how do you make a Hollywood movie about hacking? Like, it's just going to be someone sitting at the freaking computer and going, and I've done it.
Yeah, I'm in the mainframe.
The hack is in. I mean, even that is like that's like overdoing it. Like,
it's like a trope.
Like,
it's called it's like Hollywood hacking. You know,
and we're done. Like, so they have to do something. So it's interesting to see how this movie kind of somehow makes hacking fights and hacking battles go down.
Yeah, they do. They balance too. They go from being like really visual movie representations that don't make any sense to very real. Like, they're digging through old printout reads of like data dumps to try to find some fucking cache thing when they're trying to hack later in the movie. But
so what is Hackers? Let's check it out right now. After breaking into computers of a massive oil company, a group of teenage hackers uncovers evidence of a wide-ranging embezzlement scheme. Their intrusion is discovered, and they must rally to find proof and save themselves before they are captured by the police in this techno thriller. Let's check out the trailer now for Hackers.
Yeah. So again, this movie came out when I was like 14, and it's funny to think about them as teenagers because, or excuse me, I was 9. I was 9 when this came out. My brother was 14. This is my brother's like favorite movie of all time.
Dude, I thought they were so cool.
They were the coolest people in the world.
So cool. They had handles.
Like this.
Oh
they had
my
handles.
God.
They were
Dude,
so
you know
cool.
what I realized in this? You notice that they have their laptops are on guitar straps. Like, their laptops are on guitar straps. They wear them around all the time. They have stickers all over them. Like, that's how I thought all shit should look like. And if you look at my gear now, my laptop, all my stuff, it's just covered in stickers. Like, I'm still imitating this aesthetic to this day. And, like, after this movie came out, we would, like, dumpster dive and, like, go through rummage sales and garage sales for, like, old laptops, old computers to just, like, this movie is how I got into caring about computers.
Let's go.
All right, let's watch it.
Dan, you look like you belong in this movie. Let's check it out.
Hidden beneath the world we know is the world they inhabit.
Dave?
Yeah, Ma?
What are you doing?
I'm taking over a TV network.
Finish up, honey, and get to sleep.
They're hackers.
Hackers penetrate and ravage private and publicly owned computer systems.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet!
It's not just something they do.
Sure this sweet machine's not going to waste.
Are you challenging me?
It's who they are.
I win, you wear a dress on our date.
And if I win, so do you.
They can crack any code. And get inside any system.
Hello?
Mr. Gill, according to our records, you're dead.
I'm what?
But this time,
Come here, look at this.
It's some kind of virus.
Unless $5 million is transferred to the following account, I will capsize 5 oil tankers.
they just hacked the wrong guy.
Game's over.
Whoever wrote this needs somebody to take the fall.
He's about to commit the perfect computer crime.
You've created a virus that's going to cause a worldwide disaster.
And they're about to take the blame.
A hacker planted the virus. But it's the perfect cover.
We're being framed.
Can we be allies? I don't play well with others.
Wow, we are fried.
Okay, let's nail it.
Now,
You're not good enough to beat me. Yeah, maybe I'm not. But we are.
they're the only ones who can prevent a catastrophe.
I know how to stop this guy. They'll trace you like that. Are you nuts? Come at me!
Unlike any the world has ever seen.
Never send a boy to do a woman's job.
Hackers of the world unite.
Cops on the building. I need more time.
This is the end, my friend.
United Artists welcomes you to the new world. Hackers.
Look at that dude.
I love that they got the movie trailer guy to even do it.
Oh, the guy. And even, look how prolific that is. Even the logo animation for Hackers is Matrix before the Matrix.
Cyberspace, man. Cyberspace is becoming like a huge thing at this point. It's like mid-90s. More people are finally getting a hold of the internet and what it is. And I know, like, in my case, I was one of those people, it's like I got AOL, and that was the easy portal on getting online and checking stuff out and discovering what cyberspace is. And that is Hollywood also tuning into that. And we saw stuff like The Net come out with Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
And
very attractive young
Jen,
Sandra
you know,
Bullock.
Johnny Mnemonic or whatever with Keanu Reeves.
Johnny Mnemonic. That's the one where it's all, like, weird.
Another, like,
Mnemonic.
cyber. Yeah,
I was trying to pronounce it.
I can't say that.
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
I'm terrible.
It starts with an N and it goes into the M.
Mnemonic.
So, mnemonic.
Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic.
I vaguely remember watching that piece. Another cybernet kind of thriller. So this is like a hot Hollywood thing.
Yeah, and then the
now.
Will Smith one with where they're tracking him. What's that one called?
That was a little bit later. You're talking about Enemy of the State. Thanks,
Which,
Eric.
by the way, everyone
movie.
thought was ridiculous at the time. And
Yeah.
what about now? Like,
What
that
about
shit was
now?
the most
No.
ridiculous
Even
shit
this,
ever.
everybody, dude, they're in this. They're like talking about here how, like, you don't even before you even get to work, you've already been entered in 10 computers. Think about how many computers and servers, like, you're being tracked in before you
Satellites
even,
sucking
like,
up.
wake up while you're sleeping. Everything is going through everything. They were so ahead of the curve with what was going to happen.
Do you think this is the
This
best
is-
cyberspace kind of movie.
This movie created the memes. It's about the memes, and it's just great. They, like, know they're memeing.
Oh.
Everything about it is hilarious.
I don't know if they know, dude. I
They
don't know
know.
if they know. If you
They know,
look at
dude.
this guy and what he
But
did,
the characters, the Hispanic guy, and then, like, Matthew Lillard, their characters are ridiculous. Like,
they are
intentionally ridiculous.
They're over the top because it's like this. Everything in this is larger than life, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the world they go into is bigger than their real world, and these people are bigger than the rest of the world
they
around
got their
them.
lingo.
How do
They
you
got their
study a hacker
handles.
too? They probably
Yeah.
don't know who a like you as an actor trying to take on these positions. Like who do you study to portray a hacker? So that's what you hear, like,
Do you know
lead
what?
speak.
Do you know
You're
what's
gonna get lots of
scary?
lead speak
You know
in
what's
this
scary
movie.
about this? So this is like This is Hollywood's representation of hacker culture, right? They're gonna make a movie about esports that is gonna be basically
With Will
similar.
Ferrell.
Yeah, you know what I mean. People are gonna be like, this is actually some 3 people that know nothing about esports, like us, who know nothing about hacking, are gonna watch that movie and be like, man, they, like, really did their research and they know, like, how authentic and everything, and we're just gonna be like, oh my, this is probably what hackers think when they watch this
Well,
movie.
I think they definitely do, but these guys did do some research. So the writer and director, the writer himself got so deep into investigating these communities. He went to all these kind of, like, super small meetups in New York. He started getting investigated by the FBI while he was writing the script.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
How did I know that?
Did you do that? You looked that up?
I looked that up.
Is that a rumor? or
That's not something I just no. It's something that he has in his own bio.
Oh man.
Because when he was working in the story department at Warner Brothers and started wanting to develop his own script. This is the first thing he ever worked on, and as he was working on it, he started pushing into these communities, renting all these books, reading all about it, and all of a sudden, FBI, hello, sir. We'd like to talk to you.
You're poking
that's
around
funny.
a bit too much there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing
Wow.
about anything. You want to learn. Guess what? They're,
That's
the feds
crazy.
are gonna knock
Oh,
on
that's
your
good to
door.
hear.
Yeah, but he's okay.
I have another fun little tidbit about this movie and its promotional process. I don't know if you heard about this, guys. So I guess MGM had set up a website to promote the movie that people could go and check out. And Eric, you can. I have a link here, a web archive link, so you can look at what the website looked like before it ended up getting hacked. So their promotional
Whoa.
website. Now look how old school this website
Look
is.
at
First
that.
off, this is what the intrawebs looked like, young ones, way back in the day. This was this
is
was a movie.
advanced, too.
This is a movie production website. Like this was supposed to be like high caliber.
Dude,
at the time.
everything back there was like only very small images. It was like 128 by 128 was
Yep.
like huge, and it's all text and hyperlinks. So white text and hyperlinks very popular. So like in hackers, when they're representing this stuff visually, people thought it looked ridiculous and that nobody would ever have. They didn't actually have graphical UIs that were
Yeah.
like that back
no,
then.
No, not. And so it says there, like, this is going to be an entertaining, fun promotional site for a movie. It's soon after hacked, and now we have the web archive of when it got hacked. And you can see, like, they
Oh,
changed up the
no.
graphic, and it was changed to say something like, this is going to be a lame, cheesy promotional site for a movie. MGM, rather, made the call to just leave it like that.
Wait, it actually got hacked?
It really got hacked, and they decided to leave it because I guess there wasn't anything
my
too
gosh.
foul about it, but they thought as extra bit to the aesthetic of the whole thing, they left
Dude,
up
that is
the
awesome.
website that was actually hacked.
So DEF CON is the giant hacker conference, which they actually, the actors and the director and the writer, they all attended before the movie in order to kind of prepare for it, like embed themselves a little bit in the culture. Even though the culture and the world which they have, like this, what they have in the movie is fetishizing cyber culture,
Oh,
like
for sure.
cyberpunk. You know, they're very much of the 90s aesthetic of kind of like this punk grunge craziness, but they bring in that cyber aspect, and then it's all fetishized. Like she's wearing Speedo tops with tight black
Spandexy,
jeans.
yeah.
Like, you know, he's wearing a
Midriffs.
midriff,
Yeah,
and then
that's
he's
just so funny. It's great.
It's
Everything they wore in this
ridiculous.
movie is amazing.
I remember seeing them and they're playing on these mechanical keyboards, and I wanted that. I just wanted to like touch and type and just see what I could do on a computer. It's a very fascinating movie in that way. So we're going to dive into it now.
All right,
let's
let's
just
go.
start walking our way through. The movie opens now, and we get to meet young little Dade Murphy. He's 11 years old at this point, and a young hacker. Because apparently, guys, this young 11-year-old hacker somehow managed to create a virus that would crash 1,507 computers on Wall Street. So it got him in huge trouble.
Yeah,
On
40K,
accident, though.
40K fine.
He was just poking around, guys. This was an accident. All right.
Nah,
What? Yes,
I
yes,
think they
he
don't
was.
show-
He
they
didn't
don't
do that
really
on
show.
purpose.
he had a virus, dude.
They just show like this is a
He
virus.
did. It was
built
very
a virus.
nasty virus.
He built, it's a very nasty virus. He built it, but he didn't know what was going to happen. He's a child genius. First off, let's refer to him as his real name, Zero Cool.
He goes under the alias Zero Cool when he's like, 11
Yeah,
years old.
one of
He's
the
Zero
dopest handles
Cool.
ever.
He obviously doesn't hang out with the other kids in school, 11-year-old. He's got a computer, and he's hacking Wall Street now. They bring him into court, like Ken says, a simple near $50,000 fine.
It's $40,000 fine.
Like $40,000, please, and prohibited from using a computer until 18.
Or a touch-tone phone. Because phone hacking or phone freaking was very popular back then.
Yeah, so he could not touch that. I don't know how you watch over that, but that was his sentencing.
Yeah, and then they played that super famous song over the
Prodigy song?
the Halcyon dance song over when the montage of him flying and getting out of the courtroom. It's in slow mo.
Oh, the whole
all
thing
that
was like
shit,
this
yeah.
very like artistic, like slow mo. I didn't grab any clips from the actual intro. We'll just consider
Oh,
like
man.
a bit of a story
Okay.
build up.
What's
Okay,
what's
wait.
the first clip?
First clip I have is of his 18th birthday when he does the first like hack you get to see of the movie.
All right. So what? Let's set up this scene. What's going on?
So now he just got sentenced as a young kid to pay the fine. His mom is obviously it's his single mom living right here, and she stuck with this terrible fine. And on his 18th birthday, when he's allowed to use a computer again, somehow, some way, he has a computer in front of him ready to go. He's got the sunglasses on. He's in full hacker mode, and I guess he's ready to do his first hack. And his first hack is to take over the TV network.
OTV.
And it's where he runs into his first opponent hacker. Okay,
And they have a hack off.
Let's check it out. It's a first hack off.
The hack off.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Hey, what? No, wait.
He changes his name here.
Yep.
Is this the beginning of the end? There is no time for wonder. No time to think, why is it happening? Why is it finally happening?
Unbelievable.
There is time only for fear.
A hacker.
Piercing pain of panic. Do we
Sees.
pray, or do we merely run now?
Yeah, okay, acid burn. That's enough.
Okay, so if you're just listening to the podcast, what is happening right now is there's some crazy, crazy visuals where we're seeing from the point of view of the keyboard. For some reason, there's old TV shows because they're like switching around all the TV stuff. We're cutting into the television network where they have a robotic video switcher that is taking tapes, like old tapes, VCR tapes, switching them as if you would in like a jukebox record player. And the hackers are fighting over which thing is going to play. Ooh, and one of the...
And he is the slowest typer ever. Now, Ken, I know you can attest to this. This is going to be one of the greatest hackers, it seems like, at the moment. And the guy can type like maybe 10 words a minute.
He's typing really slow.
His
And
typing is just atrocious.
at the time, you can't tell, but he's like
mess
with the best.
Oh, hold on a second. Delete.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, he's real slow.
the best.
And you don't notice because no one typed fast back then.
No.
People, this was like pre-Mavis
now.
Beacon, kind of like people, like very few people typed like 50 words a minute. Everyone was like one of these touch typers. So no one noticed. But
Unless
now
you were
when
like a
watch it, it's just
secretary or
this is
something.
hilarious. Like he's slow. Like he's a hacker and he's
I remember
slow.
my dad's secretary at this time was like a beast. She was just like so fast, and she had one of those old, like, they looked like a computer, but it was actually just like a fancy typewriter.
Oh, was she like a stenographer?
Yeah, he's a lawyer, so she was like, she was like,
stenographers have always been just ridiculous.
she's not an
freaking
actual
typists.
stenographer, but she was like so fast, it was crazy. Mary Alice, shout out Mary Alice. So funny things about that scene on top of everything else.
I mean, that's our hacker fight right there.
Yeah.
Like, how
They
much
represented that so cool.
How many things they injected to
Yeah.
make it look like a
They-
fight? They had like the robot fighting. They had like the old ass Western.
But
genre
those clips,
movies.
because they're fighting over a TV network, and I know they use those clips later on, that like whole technique. But like that visual representation of hackers fighting with each other is probably one of the best I've seen. I don't think you can represent it any better than that. It's just like two people typing at each other, basically.
It's better than Swordfish.
Yeah.
I mean, they
It's
do
like exciting. It's like there's music. It's timed with that. You see some like actual action. It's crazy.
What do you think about those camera shots, Dan, where they try to
Dude,
do like
I
the
love
camera
it.
as the keyboard, and they you see it a lot
In this
like,
movie.
typing on
They're
the
typing
camera,
on the camera, yeah.
They
or
love
they're looking at the
it.
computer monitor, and you are the monitor. You know, it's pretty funky.
So much of the stuff in this movie is from the perspective of what the person is using. So we get to look right into the character's eyes and right into them from a very strange place that you normally wouldn't. And I think it's really cool technique, and they use it very well in this movie. I think that is probably
leave before you
the
are
weirdest
expunged.
one because it's like
Expunged.
you see his fingers like up floating in there. That's a
Look
little
how slow he's
strange.
typing. Look how he's like.
The other thing about this scene is we see Leet speak for the first time.
Leet speak.
I don't even know. I mean, it's 1995 when this movie comes out. Like, is Leet speak really that big? They're really like, I mean, IRCs are going
Leet
on.
typing is like a thing. You know,
Yeah.
when like a guy sub those E's for threes,
That's for sure.
throwing a 0 for an O.
It just always looks so
And
funny.
he loses. He loses.
I'm gonna snap you like a toothpick.
He gets
gets-
back when he's 18
But that's
and
an
he
interesting
loses.
point that you bring up, is that the first time we see this visual like motif, which they use throughout the film, where they represent the character's thoughts by intercutting a whole bunch of like old TV footage together that represents like what he's feeling
Yeah.
in that moment. And in this instance, we see it very naturally and obviously because it's a TV station.
network, yeah.
And then later, it makes sense because we've set that kind of they call it like passing the brick or whatever, where you like, maybe it's not called passing the brick, but it's something about a brick where you have this one thing you set up and then it just keeps paying off later and later and later, so it never feels out of place.
So hacking a TV network. This actually has happened before, and this is a crazy thing, guys. Today, now I was going to bring up a clip of a very famous time when there was a hacker who hacked a TV network, and I had the clip ready to go. I found it.
Oh, it was in Chicago.
And today it was on the front page of Reddit. I kid you not. Today it was on the front page. I already had it on this document ready to go, and today it was brought. It was like fate brought it up. But yes, there's this famous incident that happened in Chicago where a hacker took over 2 TV network stations. He took over the TV station twice. And they call it the Max Headroom incident.
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom is that, like, if you remember, like, Back to the Future 2, when he goes into the shop and is buying a Coke, and there's that guy on the TV who's like, he's like that famous figure guy who keeps chopping out on the TV. That I don't know how to describe him best.
That's exactly. It's like a glitched out, like, hey.
He's like a TV personality guy. I think you might know who I'm talking about. If not, look up Max Headroom. Anyways, they call this the Max Headroom incident because the hacker who was transmitting was wearing a mask. Let's check it out. This is like super creepy. This really happened.
Yeah. This is Chicago. 1 year after my birth.
What the fuck? At large. What the?
That is stupid. You should talk often with the old ones of your tribe. That is the only way to learn.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
I've done some dry clothing.
Dude, this is Twitch chat before Twitch chat, like breaking in with like.
Eminem made a video that used this as his aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
For Rap God.
That's right. A lot of it is like inaudible, but I remember like when I was like reading up on this a bit in this instance, they were saying that he had to have some seriously powerful equipment to be able to pull this off, to be able to somehow put out such and such waves to be able to interfere with these networks. Like he had to have some serious gear to do this, and he did it, and they never found him.
And this is
without a trace. No one's ever figured out who it was.
This is like a great look at what hacking was back then. Very exploratory and very disruptive, but in a way that's like
it's
not
creepy, dude.
hurting people.
Super creepy. Dude, later, I don't think they showed on here, but he starts getting spanked.
What?
Yeah, he has this moment where they spank him with a fly swatter on his ass.
Fuck?
If you guys want to watch the rest of this whole thing, it's called the Max Headroom incident. There was one other time.
Oh, here you go. He's getting spanked here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here.
My man. Oh, that's a button.
That's a butt.
This is what PBS.
Can we show this?
I don't know.
Are we allowed to show this?
PBS.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that off there.
Get it off it.
Jesus. Yeah,
There's
but
been a couple other notable incidents. The other time was, I guess, we don't have to watch this if you guys don't want to, but during it looked like a normal news broadcast, they did one of those EMS like alerts, and it said zombie outbreak, and then there was a voice like the bodies are rising from the dead, and it happened like
what?
Yeah.
That's like when have you ever seen so there's like a hack where like literally you just press like 0 4 times, and that was like the password for all the road signs, so people would change all the road signs to like danger, zombies ahead, like stuff like that, or like leave now, the outbreak is here, and like like all this, like these are all those things. And I remember growing up, and after hackers, it became very popular to like try to learn all these little things. Like, did you ever know the Coke machine hack?
Oh, I heard about.
So
this.
yeah, there was like one of the old Coke machines where you could press. It was like 1 2 4 1 2 1 2 4 3.
You go like a setup or something like that.
Yeah, like you can get like a test Coke, and like Coke come out, or like there's one to like clear the machine or whatever. So like like all these like weird things. But yeah, you can look them up. You can look all these up. There's all these kind of ways of testing. So it's like factory stuff, right, where they figure out ways to kind of test like features or to make sure it's working.
It's
or
not just an art; it's survival.
Yeah,
it is. Even arcade machines. I remember old arcade machines. You could unplug them, plug them back in, and if you held down the buttons and the stick in a certain way, I think NBA Jam had this. It would go into a free tank game.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that developers
like
leave in there on accident in games that often come out, and then with machines, it's just like part of how they programmed them and got them ready. And in this movie, they have one of the coolest ones, which is the phone phreaking, where they
Oh, we'll see that.
Yeah, okay,
we see
yeah,
that
yeah,
coming
yeah.
soon, actually. So Dade, our boy Dade,
Dade
who's
Murphy.
who now is going
Crash
as
Override.
Crash Override, just faced off against Acid Bird.
By the way,
whoever
do you get
that
the
is.
Crash Override name?
No, what is so special about Crash Override?
Okay, so he's Zero Cool before,
Oh.
and he crashes all those computers, okay? But now he is coming back and overriding that, and so Crash Override. Crash is back.
Making up for it.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
I
back.
like
a redemption
that.
arc.
I can get behind that. So poor Dade here, he's 18, and he just lost his first hacker fight. And they moved, and now he's got to go to school. So we're going to be checking out Dade on his first day of school and a special debut of one of the other characters. Let's
Oh
check it
shit!
out.
I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
man.
about. Let's go.
Look at that outfit. All right.
He asked someone who's on the phone. Ask anyone else.
Excuse me? Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just looking for the principal's office.
It looks so modern. Everything about it is modern.
Except for the payphones.
Yeah, other than the payphones. The whole aesthetic, like the
Dude,
lighting, everything is great.
His whole crew is so fashion forward in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, so he's in the school. Oh, here she is.
It's a relatively straightforward question.
Yeah, so here they use the technique again.
Do you
Bunch of
speak
old
English?
footage.
Sorry.
Show us what he's
You
thinking.
wanted...
I wanted transfer forms.
Damn.
I just think that's such
So
a great...
that's when all the little boys popped their little boners. Like, I mean,
Yeah, if you don't know who that is, guys, that is
That's
Angelina
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie.
That is a very young Angelina Jolie.
yeah.
Had the lips back then.
The lips. You're
Had
just
the lips
like,
back
my
then.
God, lady,
She's,
you are
she's the
a pixie.
reason.
Yeah, the
she's the
pixie
reason
cut.
why people
God.
get injections.
Yeah, she started
She's
the
the
lip
original. She's the original lip person.
She is so gorgeous and cool in this movie. You want to be her.
What do you
want
think
to be
about that
with her.
haircut, though?
I'm so down with that on her.
Sometimes that
looks amazing.
It works with
that
the
haircut.
movie.
That haircut works with the movie.
You have
Works
to have
with
the
the
right
movie.
face for it.
She looks like a pixie, you know?
Yeah. Well, what's really cool, here's what sells it for me is the sideburn
that's
thing.
crazy.
These like pointy ass sideburns where she really looks like a little fairy girl. That's fucking amazing.
She's crazy. I mean, she's awesome in this movie. But fun fact, her and Johnny Lee Miller actually got married after Hackers was over. Now imagine Hackers, you're Johnny Lee Miller, you're the star of a Hackers movie, you marry your co-star.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and she's amazing. And then they get divorced.
3
and
years
she becomes
later.
a megastar, marries Brad Pitt, has like 4 kids.
Well, before
adopted
that,
4
she
kids.
marries Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Well, let's just skip. We skip over those. Those are the crazy days.
That's
She
crazy.
had-
That's
she-
when they were like they had like their each other's blood.
Yeah, they had the blood.
in a necklace that they carried around with each other.
Yeah.
3
that was-
years.
that was some
3
crazy
years
shit.
they got married. They met in this movie. Got married after the movie, and then 3 years later, yeah, she just goes into some sort of Billy Bob Thornton spiral thing, man.
She somehow manages to be so badass and at the same time like just a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Where it's like usually they aren't so like they don't stand on their own. She stands on her own without being that sex symbol, and that's really cool about her character. Like you're impressed by her, you're intimidated by her. She
She's
competes
scary.
with you.
She's scary.
scary.
Yeah.
She's scary.
She can like talk shit back and forth. She's
I
great.
love her, but she may dominate me.
Is it too early to ask who you think is like of her performance or compared to the other people? Like
Who's like the performer?
Yeah, well, let's just talk
She
about
is
Angelina,
the
I
female
guess.
performance
Are we gonna
of this
rank-
movie
can
because
we rank 'em?
The other female performance in the movie is so dreadful.
Yeah,
I
she's
can't
very
wait
bad.
to talk about it. It's so
Margot?
comically bad. Yeah. Oh my god, she's the worst thing that ever happened in this movie. I feel terrible.
Okay, so I do not think she's the best performer in the movie. I don't think Zero Cool is. No, he's not
I think
even
I
close to
know
the
who
top.
you would think is. The
Who do
best
you think
performer.
is?
Well, let's wait.
Okay.
We're gonna rank later.
All right.
We're not ready to jump on who did the best, but we will say
rank
that
later.
Angelina Jolie did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, she did a good job,
portraying
for
this
sure.
role.
A lot of
feels
great
real.
You
characters.
feel it in that intro. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
She is okay.
I want to hang out with you or just look at you while you're hanging out.
So she already sets that kind of almost bully like commander role because remember she sends Dade to the roof to check out the pool.
And all the nerds are there.
The nerds are all up there. No one's waiting by the door to make sure it stays open. They just let themselves get stuck on the roof.
Hold the door.
So no one wants to hold the door.
That was the first hold the door meme.
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
And that little guy who was on the phone, which I'm glad you pointed it out. It's so awkward that he happens to ask the guy on the phone than anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I get some help? No. Guy on the phone who's clearly talking. Can you help me, please?
No.
That is
Freak.
Phantom Freak.
That's the Phantom Freak.
The Freak with a P.
The King of 9X.
King of 9X?
King
Dude,
of 9X.
that guy is
Phantom
fucking
Freak. That guy's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
What's crazy, I mean, he...
You in the butter zone now.
Oh my God, what is that? The
He has
butter
so many
zone?
quotes.
What
He is
is
the most
butter
quotable guy in the
zone?
entire movie.
So they run. He meets Cyber Freak. He also meets.
You know that place where I put that thing one time?
He's like, it's in that place where I put that thing that time. He's great. That guy's amazing.
They're all like funny characters because
Everybody's
also, right
funny.
after that we meet
Except for Joey. He's
Joey,
like Dodo.
who doesn't have an alias yet. He's trying to come up with an alias.
Right.
What was his like dumb?
He had all this.
Names?
What a classic conundrum of being anybody of the internet generation is coming up with your handle, and they have a hilarious conversation where Joey's like, yeah, I can be, like
Ultra Laser.
like Ultra Laser, or like yeah, the big murder
Master of
man.
Disaster.
Master of Disaster.
The
That's
Master
it.
of
Thanks,
Disaster.
Ken.
And
You
the
actually
third one.
remember
The third
these
one's
things.
Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Doctor Doom.
Which are like definitely things that probably a lot of like 9 to 14-year-olds thought of as like would be a cool name.
Yeah. Oh man.
Joey never gets a handle.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have an
But he
identity
puts in the
without
work.
a handle.
He ends up putting in the most work in
Yes.
this movie as a hacker. I will say.
Actually, do you realize that
He
if
causes the whole thing.
If you
Really
look at the
does.
story arc, it actually is about Joey becoming a real hacker. He starts as an idiot. The inciting incident is actually about him. The FBI comes to he hacks into the computer on accident. The FBI comes to his house.
Yep.
He gets arrested. He comes back. He has a challenge. He rises to the occasion. He saves the day. He becomes a different person where now instead of being the Dodo kid, he actually
He's like
is
the new guy.
But this movie is actually about Joey, and you don't even realize it. He's the character
We're
that
too
goes through the
distracted
most
by
change.
Jolie, that we
Yeah.
don't even know Joey's there.
Like Zero Cool goes through no change. Like there's nothing that actually from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, he gets a girl. That's
yeah,
it.
he just gets laid. is
There's
really
no
about it.
difference. His altruistic
Yeah.
attitude, his approach to friends, people, his life, himself, his mom, nothing changes.
Well, the thing that changes about him is that he goes from being scared of the establishment to finally buying in and being one of the hackers again. Because he was like, he gives the disc to the guy. He's like, he's not sure whether he wants to be in it or not, and then he finally commits. I think that's like the main thing. Like he trusts.
He's protecting his mom. That's a whole lot of like making it personal kind of stuff that forces his hand. It's not necessarily
No. But like if
a decision he
can
makes.
still do that threat that he did on his mom at any moment. So he didn't he could just be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to help you guys with this hack because my mom's threatened or whatever. He didn't have to do that. So him coming in and like helping them is kind of like the decision he has to make, which is, to your point, not a super big change. It's just like
I feel like it's something he would already do because everything he does is not for the benefit of himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the funny thing is they try to threaten him like you're going down a bad road where you're not going to be able to go to college. They bring it up multiple times actually.
The
His
whole-
mom's like,
the
you're not going to
whole-
be able to go to
MIT.
college. You're not going to be able to go to college.
What about college?
And he's like, what? So it's funny
that's
how
the
they
guy
put
that starts
in
his.
there.
That's the guy that like right now starts his own website and is like a multimillionaire basically without going to college.
Yeah.
Crash Override is doing fine.
If you're in the late 90s, early 2000s, and you know that much about computers, you are rich right now. Most likely.
Nobody knew this much about computers then.
Yeah.
So our boy Dade, he's starting to hook up with a few of the hackers and gets invited to hang out to Cyber Delia.
The coolest place ever.
Let's check
My
it out.
God.
I want to see the coolest place ever.
coolest
So
place
let's have
ever.
like a hacker
Cyber
rave
Delia.
club. Lots of cool things here.
Another great trope. Imagine walking up this place. Look, there's all this shit out there. So he's rollerblading in a leather jacket up to a thing. There's a homeless-looking guy selling old records and CRTs and all his equipment.
There he is, the debut of Matthew Lillard.
Morpheus glasses,
or Shaggy.
braids in his hair, and a toothbrush. I never got that about this movie. I feel like that's something that Lillard brought to the table, though. The
Possibly.
toothbrush?
I didn't even notice he had that toothbrush there till now.
He has it the whole movie.
I know he had it that other scene where he brushed
Oh
his
my
teeth,
god.
but
This place is so cool.
Look how cool this is. Rollerblading was so cool.
$5 for the first minute. Thank you.
No. Thank you.
Mind blown. I'm watching this as a kid. I'm like, no way.
He has a
no way.
He has a cat on his shirt.
Oh, look
dude.
at Razorblade on the wall. I didn't notice that.
He's got a cat on his shirt.
By the way, this video game is
video
a real
game's
video
awesome.
game.
Yes,
It's a
it
real
is.
video game.
1995.
It's a prototype.
What the hell?
Yes.
It was a prototype for a PlayStation 1 game.
White game.
Yeah, that's what I do. Isn't that cool though?
It is
Look at her. Dude, look at her outfit.
I mean, look at that.
She's the original girl gamer.
She is the first girl gamer.
That's a nice score for a girl.
Oh!
Hey, buddy.
Right there.
Hey, buddy.
Do better?
He does it to trigger her, though.
Yeah,
he did it
he's trolling.
intentionally.
Give it a shot.
He loves women. He loves his mom, and he knows he's might not be better than her.
Woo!
So
He
let's
choked.
the last
There's so
thing-
much shit happened
So much
in that
shit happened
5
in that scene.
seconds.
So
All right,
let's
let's
go back
start
to
at the
the beginning.
beginning.
Start at
Oh.
the beginning. Rolling down, you see this cool looking rave, cool club, and we got Matthew Lillard hanging out front. The debut of Emmanuel Goldstein, aka
Serial
Killer.
With a C.
Fun fact, or just like a funny little note, is that he plays a character named Serial Killer in this movie, and then goes on to play a serial killer in Scream.
In Scream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
great.
funny.
Fun tidbit about Matthew Lillard.
Dude, so
on that
okay,
one.
the toothbrush though that he has it the whole
Wait,
movie.
was he the killer in Scream?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he was a killer. in
yeah.
Scream.
Spoiler,
Yeah.
by the way, but yeah, he's a killer. So
Spoiler.
he is like sucking on
One
the
of them.
toothbrush or brushing his teeth or holding it. Look, he's got it the whole time. That has to be as an actor. Don't you think
He's-
that's something that he's like? I don't know why. I just feel like it'll give me something to do with my hands, which is something that actors always have to do, right?
It's like he
give
has
them
to-
something to do with their hands, and then his character kind of like gives them a little more flavor and something
He
to
just
do.
really, I don't know if he's made the choice. He's like, a hacker's got to be someone who's a bit off.
This does
Someone
not-
who's going to make him a bit off. He's got like these glasses. He's got this, yeah, man. He's always high.
Look what they're wearing. He's wearing a cat T-shirt. Like, it does not feel like the 90s. When you
No.
look at all the people in this movie, it
I
feels
could- I
like
would
now.
wear
Look at
that
all
shirt
what they're
tomorrow.
wearing. They're wearing normal. Like, if you look at the costuming, it looks modern.
The wardrobe, I was trying to find the people who do the wardrobe in this, and it was very difficult to connect all their work. It didn't,
God.
but because they did such a good job, everybody looks so sick. Like, there's points where the clothes look so good, it's
timeless.
like not even like practical, but they look amazing, you know? But like look at her, dude. She's killer. She could wear that and look great still.
Yeah, all of them look modern.
Look at this, all this animation, everything's going on here.
Man,
It's
when
the
I
first
saw
time
that,
play
when I saw that
games.
phone hack, man, I was like, how
Yeah,
do
the
I,
phone
how do I
hacking.
do that now? I want, because you know, this, again, young ones, no cell phones here. There's no cell phones anywhere. That's how you wanted to make calls like outside your
By the
house.
way,
Yeah.
if you wanna, I have my own phone hack. You want me to tell you about my own phone hack?
Hit us with the phone hack.
All right, so if you ever call into, and I used to work in an immigration law firm, so if you ever want to call into USCIS, the easiest way to do so and get to someone without waiting is to go through the address change. Now, changing your address is something that there isn't someone just handling that, so you get a general person. So
What?
Yeah.
So you can skip everything?
you can skip everything and skip the line if you just do address change. So you go address change, you type it in all in the things, and then when you get a person, then you give them your real issue, which is like visas or something like that.
Ah, yeah, actually, it was this.
No, they don't even know.
Oh, they don't know what
They're
getting.
just connected to whatever. And I think
Oh.
the code was like 1311 or something. I don't remember exactly.
Wait,
but
what
I
is
would
this
just
for? To call who?
to call U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.
okay.
So that was my phone hack. I would call in, I would just go address change, and then I would just talk to someone every time. That's
Oh.
Can.
Find me that for
Nice.
like the cable company. And then
yeah,
that'd be great.
The cable company is buying something. That's you get connected to someone right away if you want
okay.
to. Like
Buying
retention
something.
sucks. You don't want that.
Oh, actually, my mode's not working.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Or address change.
So yeah, with that, I remember. Do you remember the Talkman, the Talk Boy?
Talk Boy from Home Alone.
So that was
Yeah.
what we had, and me and my brothers. So at the beach, there was we used to hang out at the beach like all the time, and there was one of these payphones, and we would sit there for hours trying to make this hack work and never figure it out. I don't even know if it actually works. Like, does it?
There's
I don't know.
another one they do in the movie. It's when they get Freak in jail and he has to make a call out. It's kind of a minor hack. It's
He
more
does
like he
a-
just
one,
hangs
two,
up
two,
and
two,
goes
two,
straight
yeah.
to the
Yeah.
operator and
Well,
says, I can't dial
No,
right
it's
now,"
because
and
he
goes-
doesn't want to actually
It's like a
tell
social
them
hack
the
or
number.
whatever.
Yeah.
of
And you know what's
yeah.
cool though too is that so here they prompt this scene with the phone hack, and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. How do they do that? What is even happening? I don't understand. And especially for then. And then later, Razor and Blade,
They explain it.
they explain what happens. A very cool little technique where you kind of like foreshadow, or it's kind of like tell the audience something without telling them, and then later explain it in a natural way. Great job of doing that.
So, yeah, and it was mentioned earlier that the game she was playing was actually the prototype for Wipeout on PlayStation 1. They didn't end up making it, but that's what they were actually planning on releasing.
There's a
so
couple of features
super
in
cool
it that
thing.
aren't actually in the game, but yeah.
As this is happening, we cut to our first like hacking breach. They end up sitting down for a moment, and they recognize that the ultra goal, I guess, for a hacker, or what would be the greatest achievement, is being able to hack into what they call the Gibson.
It's a type of computer.
It's a type of computer. It's a big supercomputer.
A Gibson supercomputer.
Can I break your train of thought to
Let's
talk
do
about
it.
the Gibson for a little?
Yeah,
Did you
please
have
do.
anything about the Gibson?
I just heard it was named after the Gibson Williams. Or
William
something?
Gibson.
William Gibson. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so all of this culture around like cyberpunk and all this, there is a writer named William Gibson, and what he made was, first he made a series of books called like the Spawn Something trilogy, but the book that I first read from him,
Neuromancer or whatever.
Neuromancer.
Yeah.
So Neuromancer completely changed my
What?
life. Neuromancer is a movie about a book about a hacker detective who goes into what they call the ICE and into the Matrix, which is not like, it's not like the Matrix of the movie. It's a different Matrix. It's basically like cache files of like whatever, and he travels through it visually to do all this detective hacking, which is like basically how they describe it in the book is almost exactly how they mimic it
visually
here.
So should I read this book? Should I read it?
Oh, Neuromancer's amazing.
All right, well, I got to read it then.
Absolutely. Such a good
recommend that
book.
shit?
The
Okay, I'll
forefront
read
of
it.
this like
There's
cyberspace movement.
Dude, there's like some
for sure.
crazy. Everything in that book is so crazy and so ahead of its time, and it is a great example of something called defictionalization, where a fictional element in a movie, book, or show becomes real later. So Star Trek, very famous for this. Neuromancer, extraordinarily famous, where the lingo and jargon in it made no sense. And then later, people invented things and gave it the name because of the book.
cyberspace. I think is from
Yeah.
that author. Like
Really?
the term
Oh,
cyberspace
okay.
comes from those books.
So this whole movie is like nod after nod after nod to Neuromancer and the books he made.
Oh, okay.
I think that's so cool.
It's so cool.
So
Into the ice, baby. Let's go.
So talking about how hacking a Gibson would be the best thing ever. And during that talk, Dade's like, "Oh, if I was to do it, I'd go in through the back door at its weakest or whatever." And Joey's
Bulldog
there.
agrees.
Joey's sitting there like, "Oh yeah, is that so? Okay." And now we have Joey heading back to his little Susie setup or whatever, and he's getting ready to hack to the Gibson. So now we have a clip of little Joey
smoking 2 cigarettes.
Before we get to that clip,
Okay,
can I
okay.
talk very briefly about their? They had this like little hacker powwow, and Serial, Matthew Lillard was just carrying around those like fucking networking books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's like that's when he meets Dade, and so he kind of almost starts testing him.
I remember it was really funny because at the time I watched this movie with Rich, who's like one of the TL, the guy that like does all the TL website stuff, and he's like basically a hacker, and he has on his shelf a lot of really hilarious book titles, and I remember taking a photo of it, and I don't have it with me, but it's just like these crazy ass names and of these books that he just has there, and I remember being like, are those all books that you just carry around with you? He's like, yeah, I carry that shit around. And it's just funny that he just have them, and he's just like quizzing them, and Joey knows nothing. Obviously, Joey's like,
Yeah.
he's like, what the hell's that? What the hell's that? Let me see that.
Oh,
Matthew
really?
Lillard
Matthew Lillard
explained
explaining
Eric,
toothbrush. All right,
whoa.
hit us.
By the way, all those books are real except for 2. I think
Really?
the pink book is not real.
Pink shirt
and
book?
The big book, is that real? The NSA book?
I'm not sure.
I don't think
The
that
red
would be
book.
a
that
book.
one
The big
is real.
red book is like the
Yeah.
NSA, like.
There's
NSA
two, I can't remember which
trusted
one. I know the
something.
pink man book.
Let's
is
check
not.
out-
All
we
right,
have a
let's watch
clip-
this Matthew Lillard
let's watch this
toothbrush.
Matthew
I
Lillard
had
clip.
this thing with like a toothbrush because I had this backstory that his mom and dad were horrible, so he always carried his toothbrush because he never knew where he was going to sleep. And that became like a thing. And I love the fact that you could bring anything you wanted to that kind of experience, and they would weave it into something.
Nikon, can I crash your place tonight?
Again? Yeah, sure.
That makes so much sense. Duh.
Holy cow!
I mean, this is a guy who, throughout the movie, he's sleeping at everyone's place. Like, can I crash with you? Can I crash with you? Crash with you? And even Victor's like, that's why he has his toothbrush on him all the time. He's moving around. He has no home.
Oh my god, dude! See, that's the kind of stuff that like just blows your mind.
Yeah,
And
he crashes at Nikon's place. He crashes at all these guys' places.
Lord
Makes
Nikon.
sense, yeah,
By the way, okay.
He has photographic memory. It's Lord Nikon.
Nikon, photographic memory.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I read the names, and I was like, Nikon. Oh,
They all have their exact. You didn't get it?
memory.
I didn't
Photographic
get
memory. That's why.
that.
But
Wow.
they all have this customized boot up screens for their computers, and Nikon's has like a photo lens.
Yeah.
It goes and it makes the noise and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah, we
it's like
checked that out later. That'd be
they
cool.
thought about all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But so this is something that they didn't think about that Lillard brings to the
Ross,
table.
That's just such good research. That's why he's just so good.
He just has a toothbrush. which is funny.
I love that. That if he brought that in himself,
What a
it's
collaboration.
It's such a contest, a contrast.
So
because everything's so dirty and like, you know, like they're like grungy and they're
He's
all
fantastic
like
in
whatever,
this
like living whatever, and he just has a toothbrush. He's just like, yeah, I care about dental hygiene. You know, it's just funny.
All right, we're gonna check out Joey hacking the Gibson.
Let's go, Joey.
This is awesome, by the way. More hacking montages and Hollywood effects.
New York Joey.
Yeah. So okay, perfect. Look at that keyboard. That's sick. They're all
People
using
still want
mechanical
those keyboards now. They
Look at
pay
that.
good
Those keyboards
money
are
for
Dude, that's
those
real.
keyboards.
Look at that. Those are real. That's a real.
Like shoot into the computer.
Yeah, practical.
Hardware. Yeah, so this is what you're talking about, how they visualize he's hacking his way towards the Gibson now. He's like physically going through the lines.
Now we're here.
And he cracks. The password is God.
Password's God, and it displays
cracks
on the
into the
screen
Gibson.
right away. Look at this, dude. This is all 3D. All super holds up today. Doesn't look cheesy.
Like Tron, you know, like you're thinking.
It's like simple enough that they can get away with it and it still looks legit, and it's like complex enough to still impress you.
You're baked off your ass. You're freaking out right now. This is just.
I'm currently baked off my ass,
this
and
is
I am
just
freaking
like,
out.
You're just like, this is amazing.
And look, yeah, we literally go there.
It's point of view hacking experience.
And then we come back out, and we're at him. What a great little sequence, you know?
Okay.
Joey. Now, what's interesting about this is that they do not use a technique that they use in the rest of the film, where they project onto their face what's going on in the computer. This is the only scene it doesn't happen. Maybe not the only one, but
Joey's not supposed to look cool though.
I guess he's a dodo.
Even though he is doing.
Look at
some of the
that.
most
Look at this
intense
big,
hacking.
like, pen. Hold on. Pen.
Right, shouts to
Quick,
Penn
quick.
Gillette.
Oh my god.
This is this guy.
When it
It's
gets
gonna
back,
stop. It's gonna
Oh,
stop.
we're gonna
so
meet.
don't worry.
Are we gonna meet him?
Yes.
Oh boy. Look at this fucking pad.
Jolt Cola.
and candy. Funyuns.
Mr. Belford?
My name is the Plague.
The plague, something weird's happening on the net.
We
Not
turned the
In
volume,
what,
actually.
you hapless techno weenie?
The accounting subdirector in the Gibson's working really hard. We got one person online, and the workload is enough for like 10 users. I think we got a hacker.
Okay, we need proof that you were here, right?
So Joey makes it in. He's got to find a way to prove that he's
Yeah.
been able to accomplish
Garbage,
this.
okay, give me garbage.
And the garbage file seems like an appetizing, quick, easy picking. Holy shit, guys! The garbage file has more than we could expect.
God.
He doesn't know what it is, you know. He's just like, let's
I mean, I
copy
don't know
this.
what the fuck that is.
Again, a super visualization. There's so many great gifs to this movie.
Look at that shit.
That's
like
me when I
that.
play Invoker.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, dude. That is
Trying
me
to
playing
figure
A
it
Invoker.
out.
floppy disk.
Ooh,
Oh,
and it's not even in the computer. It's an external floppy disk drive. Oh my
Look
god.
how much time it's gonna take to copy onto the floppy.
This is like less than one. Well, how big are those? Like
It's
3
like
megabytes?
it's like 4
3
text
megabytes.
files.
Woo! Okay, so that's the thing, guys. When I'm making these clips, it's like I could have just got that one part, but then there's another
First,
significant moment right after it,
let's-
and then right after it.
Let's
so it's
talk
hard.
about how where Penn was sitting.
now.
right?
Penn's in the movie.
Like,
That's awesome.
That IT department
Oh, okay.
is
yeah.
first, nothing looks like that.
No.
They were like, how do we make the Gibson look super intimidating, and how do we visually represent it?
Yeah.
So like, okay, let's have them sitting in the center of this gigantic, like arena style
Supercomputer.
Yeah, like where the stacks of data are like fucking next to them,
Physical
and like you
stacks
can
of
see
data.
them, and the gigantic display. It's just like, what the? Is like,
Dude.
do people that work for big companies? And that are technical people actually sit in a room like that? No.
No.
They're
It's
like,
like
it's
they
like a
wanted to
ham in
make-
like a regular computer.
Live digital file cabinets or something.
Yeah.
Like little towers of file cabinet data, but
Looks
they're
like the
well,
city,
we can't put
too.
file cabinets. We'll make them look like Lasertron boxes.
Yeah,
They
laser
look like it
glass.
looks like the city. They've done that transition like multiple times.
Yes.
We don't see it because we didn't show the clip.
But it was in
like,
the trailer.
Yeah, it's like flying. He's flying over New York, and then it transitions into the inside of a computer, which looks a lot like New York. It's like grid system, and it's laid
So
out. And
just
everything.
FYI, with that was one of the first visual effects they tested and created on the film, and it was the director with another team built that to kind of establish the style of the movie, the visual aesthetic, and they actually recreated with real circuit boards. So they shot the New York flyover, and they recreated it 1-to-1 with actual circuit boards, and the floor is all 3D.
Whoa.
But like That's
1995,
why,
baby.
That's why the transition is like it's just a cross dissolve because it's literally the same fucking thing because it's just a miniature model that they
so
made.
cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
We get a good share of it throughout the movie too. They like amp it up a bit for like the final hacker showdown kind of a thing, but it's super cool. Cool to see Penn Jillette in the movie as Hal, and then we get to meet the bad guy of the
Plague.
movie, the Plague.
I am the Plague.
Yeah, I love how he calls him. His name is like it's the Plague. Like he
It's
just
not
woke
just
up in the middle of
Plague,
the night.
it's the Plague.
There's his computer's getting like hacked. There's all this shit going, but like don't forget you have to call me my name, which is the Plague, not Plague, not Mr. Plague, not Mr. the Plague, the Plague.
They're calling to him because he is head of computer security for
At Ellingson.
the Gibson company. So
How do you remember the name of the company?
Ellingson Oil.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got it, yeah.
The oil company, and yeah, the Plague is such an interesting character because I don't know if we want to get too much into him now, but he brings up a very interesting writing kind of like trope or whatever, which is called a foil, and it's basically he is the villain, and he's supposed to be like the direct counter to our hero, so Crash Override, and he basically is designed to highlight all of the good characteristics of our like main character. So, okay, Crash Override, guy who hacks for altruism and like exploration and self-discovery. While this other hacker, he makes money off it. He sells to corporate America.
He's working for the man.
Yeah, Crash does like he rollerblades, Flem skateboards. Or what do I keep calling him? Flem?
his name is his full name
Eugene
is Eugene
Belford.
Belford.
Yeah, and
Eugene
of course, by the
Belford.
way, his name is like crazy, but his real name is like Eugene.
Eugene.
You know?
Eugene.
So
They all
like,
have, like
yeah,
pretty
they're
basic
like
names.
literally they're exact opposites, you know, in like every single aspect of how they approach things. Like he's thrown in jail or like for crashing Wall Street for 7 points. This other guy is like actually trying to
Belford
manipulate
like dresses
this entire
elegantly
system.
too, and you know the other guy's got leather jackets and punky kind of.
Yeah, I just love that one rollerblades, the other one skateboards.
Yeah, I think I have the
Yeah.
scene where he skateboards too. It's super
so
funny.
fucking dumb. Okay.
So at this point, he's getting a hold of the garbage file and getting out, and he knows that he gets it in the disc, quickly hides the disc and then he begins to figure out that he has to share it with somebody. At this moment, they're also having a meetup at that Lord Nikon's house, and I want to check this out because there's a nice moment when we get to see Hack the Planet for the first time too. So this is a lot of fun. Let's check out the Hack the Planet debut.
Nikon! Lord Nikon, this is Crash
Hack stock.
Never heard of you. Done anything?
Our gatekeeping right here.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Listen to the phrase they use though.
He's hiding also his history. You ask him if he did anything, he's like, nah. Doesn't want to put out that he's zero cool.
Does he know anything?
Sure, man. He's elite.
He's elite.
Come in.
Elite speak.
Nikon, can I crash your place tonight?
Again?
Oh, he's not so serious. They're just having
They're in
fun.
high school, dude.
God, this apartment is like what I want in my apartment. Like graffiti everywhere.
So here we meet
shit
also
everywhere.
Agent Gill. Agent Gill for the first time.
Notice what's happening in the
That's
background.
Joey in the background,
Joey's
dude.
in the background. He's
Yep.
Joey.
Yeah.
I never noticed that until Ken pointed out when we were watching.
I don't know anything about this movie.
It's like that. What is that? What is that editing? Like it's like non-linear, but also
Chronosphere.
yeah, Chronosphere.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks, Ken.
Welcome to our show. Hack the Planet. Hack the Planet.
Asians.
Hack the Planet. Jolt Cola, the soft drink of the elite.
They have sponsors, dude.
They sold out.
It's Razor and Blade.
Sell out.
Razor and Blade.
The first product placement for Razer.
Here's the payphone. Don't ask.
And
As you
Blade.
can see, it's just a simple micro.
Yeah, K-pop before K-pop, dude.
Hook it up to the phone and drop in $5 in quarters.
Yeah, they're wearing
Record the
makeup,
tones
right?
that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
coins
they are.
make, and hang up and
This
get
guy's
your
in
money
whiteface.
back.
Looks like a geisha.
Never again pay for a service that would be
This
dirt
is so
cheap if
interesting
it
how
were
they
run
shot
by a
this,
bunch of
where it's
profiteering
like
gluttons. Remember,
so zoomed in on their
hacking is more
eyes.
than just a crime. It's a survival trait. Baby, I'm a real wild
They
child.
made it like look like really raw there.
That scene after that's hilarious because he's wearing headphones in the shower
Yeah.
with plastic over them to cover
He's
them.
got the shower caps
That's
on his-
just he can't. He has to listen to music all the time. you know?
Joey gets arrested at that moment. That leads to the whole moment
Yeah.
where he's behind Agent Gill during that broadcast. Again, you know, Agent Gill is head of government cybercrime division, so
He's
it
the
becomes,
buffoon that doesn't know anything about hacking.
Yeah, so he ends up working close with Eugene or the Plague to help isolate, you know, what's going on here.
Couple little gags here. So Richard Gill, Dick Gill.
Dick Gill.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was going to bring up is, so he gets raided right after this, which is really interesting because it kind of seems ridiculous, especially back then. Every one of these guys, like these kids, have the FBI fucking entire SWAT team jumping in their room, and it seems like it would never happen.
Dan, you don't hack a bank across state lines from your house.
Yeah,
you get busted by the FBI.
You don't hack a bank across. What are you doing? But that's not that unusual. Now people get swatted all the time.
Yeah,
It's
swatting is no longer a cool thing.
It's not ridiculous. Like, it's very
It happens
easy to
all
have
the
a
time.
SWAT
It's like,
team
what the
jump
hell?
into your house.
In the shower
So-
while you're trying to listen to your jams.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to say that.
No,
Go
you're
on.
right on that. So this is where we get to find out the evil plan of the movie. Like, what's going on here? All we know is little Joey's just hacked his way into the Gibson. He got hold of this garbage file,
Yeah.
but this has alarmed some things.
So the actual plot of the movie is not super simple. It's actually kind of confusing.
It's
if
cool.
you don't know, if you don't have it just laid out for you, it's actually kind of confusing. So I'm gonna take a shot at explaining it. Do you mind if I do it?
That's fine. After
All right.
this, we have a clip of like them just talking about their
Yeah,
plan.
but it's not like they don't actually like. So basically, they're just hacking. They're messing around. Joey gets into this Gibson. He copies a garbage file which contains proof of a virus that the Plague had installed in Ellingson, which was siphoning off money from all of her transactions. Now, this proof basically proves that the Plague is doing illegal shit, embezzling money, whatever, and that he was going to get arrested if he ever realized what it was. Now, in order to get that file from Joey, the Plague runs this crazy virus called Da Vinci, which will capsize their tankers, and he blames it on Joey in order to get the FBI to get Joey's garbage file, essentially. That's, in my opinion, what...
That's pretty
Absolutely.
much it.
So,
yeah.
So, and then they have to come together to prove that Joey didn't start the virus and that they're not blaming it on hackers and that it's actually the Plague who's stealing all the money. So they need to go hack the Gibson to get the garbage file again because the disc was given to the guy. and he
Which
didn't
is
make a
funny
copy
that he
of it.
didn't. He could have just made a copy of it, which Angelina Jolie asks him. The reason that she gives him the floppy disk, we're skipping ahead here, but the reason that she gives him the floppy disk is to check it out, see what he can learn, and then make a copy of it.
And then he gives it to...
And he doesn't make a copy of it. He doesn't even look at it. He just gives it to the Plague,
Yeah.
which is like, if he had just made a copy of it like she asked, they wouldn't have had to go
well, there'd
through
be
what
no
they go
plot
through
of the
later.
movie then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It would be a different plot.
It would be very boring.
We wouldn't have
It'd be
360
very
degrees
boring,
hacking.
Joey just has this garbage file at the moment as a trophy. At the moment, he just thinks of a trophy like to show the guys that he went to the Gibson. But what he doesn't know is that he has something very valuable to our Plague friend here. So now he's looking to be working with Agent Gill to find out where this snotty-nosed kid is that has his very important and valuable garbage file and information. So here we can see, now this scene's great. It's the evil plan being broken down by the Plague himself, but this is where what's her name again, the other woman in this
Margot.
movie? Margot. Now he also is working with Margot, who is, I guess, another employee of the company, and they're in and on it together. Her acting performance in this movie is goddamn atrocious.
Well,
She's
it
from
might be
other stuff.
intentional though. It might
let's
be
watch this
intentionally-
scene,
Okay.
but this is the breakdown of it, and it's just it's really something else.
Okay. We'll be in touch.
Hey, I'll talk to you later.
What the hell was that all about?
I had to move fast. The hacker copied my garbage file.
What?
I created Mr. Da Vinci so we could call in the Secret Service. So they'd arrest the hacker, seize his equipment, things that we can't do on our own.
I don't want to go to jail for this.
Relax. Think about the $25 million.
But you've created a virus that's gonna cause a worldwide ecological disaster just to arrest some hacker kid?
Basically, yeah.
Jesus, you know you're sick.
Just having this conversation in the middle of the office.
Yeah.
Then he just grabs the.
I'll
do
I'll
that.
Takes a paper and then
program code.
no reason at all.
Perfect cover.
He just says, "I'll do it," and then just.
He knows what it is. Yeah.
Copied.
And just looking at it like, yeah, this is an important paper.
Why did I ever trust you?
And she's the opposite of Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
Quite
she's
the
just.
opposite.
I mean, she's cute. I like her hair. Her hair is really
Otherwise,
nice.
you'll lose all your toys.
Okay, so can I tell you one reason that it appears her appearance is worse than it actually is?
It's probably a redub as well, right?
Yeah, it's all ADR. So they dubbed, for whatever reason, something happened with a huge portion of the audio they recorded with her. No idea what, obviously, I can't tell.
Something's off. You can definitely tell.
But she has to go in after the fact and re-record all her lines over the video. So that's why her audio is a lot clearer for some reason, right? It sticks out. Like you can like kind of tell. It's just not the same.
Her mic might have been dead on the shoot or
Something
like
happened,
that, or
and it
died
just
afterward.
that's rough.
It's
But-
fucked up.
But like, I understand that, but I wouldn't use that as enough of an excuse for that kind of
But she's
performance.
a great
Still,
actress.
But you should be good enough in the mic to be like, this is going to cause a worldwide economic disaster. And she's like, a worldwide economic disaster.
Ecological disaster.
Whatever, you know. It's just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not
What are
gonna
you
forgive the
doing?
performance, but I'm just saying so much of that happens because of the dub.
Yeah,
the
it's
the
just-
dub just fucks everybody.
It's a funny, awkward moment, but that's essentially the breakdown of what the evil plan is and what's going on and why the hackers might need to, you know, figure out what's going on to clear their own name because they're going to start to get attacked here. Let's move forward a bit, gentlemen. We're going to be going over to see more of Kate because Kate's great to look at.
Kate Libby.
And
Let's go.
She's hosting a party.
Oh yeah. That's
Let's
right,
go
the
on this party. This is just a great, fun little
party.
party of the movie.
Everybody's cool as fuck.
Bad audio dub here.
Yeah.
His mouth's not even moving.
Yo, Frank! What's on TV? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Listen.
Houston, we have liftoff. 3 o'clock. Check it. Don't look right away. Look at her, man. Look at that. Lisa Blair, 26 East 7th Street, apartment 16, 555-4817.
Is that creepy?
How did you know that? I got photographic memory. It's a curse. Lisa!
Yeah, he's cursed.
How do you know my name?
And then who do we see right now?
Wait.
Look at that pooper, man. Spandex, it's a privilege.
He calls it a pooper.
But they're like talking down it too.
And
then suddenly, what is he doing
So
there?
okay, I have a question.
Lots of things here.
So something
Again.
when
Look
I
at
was,
that pooper.
I always assumed that. So we just saw what's his name again?
The Secret
Mark
Service agent.
Anthony.
Mark
Secret
Anthony.
Service. Secret
So
Service.
Mark Anthony
The
is
Mark
in this.
Anthony, J. Lopez Mark Anthony.
Yeah,
by the
he
way.
is a Secret Service member in this movie, but he obviously
Checking out someone's butt.
he is either a hacker or he sympathizizes with the hacker
Yeah,
cause
he
because
was,
there's
yeah.
several times in the movie that he is like, oh, it's so cool what they're doing, or like, oh, I like this manifesto, or oh, wow, I can't believe they did that. And then he's at his party, and so it's one of two things: he's either undercover,
Yeah.
and he's following them,
Yeah.
or he's actually
undercover.
just hanging out.
He's not covered.
But he's
But
never
you know
really
what's the funny
does
thing is, like,
anything. He's just like smoking cigarettes and dancing. He never, like, he doesn't really give a look. And when he turns and puts the shades down, at first I thought he was looking at them. You know what he's looking at is the pooper.
He's
Because
looking at the girl's
down.
butt, yeah.
He's looking at
Yeah.
the girl's butt.
We know Mark Anthony's the butt guy.
We
just
do know
from-
that.
Oh, for sure.
Just from his personal life, so.
But they're like talking down, like, look at that pooper. Hispanics are not for everyone.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
like,
a gift, not
it's
a
so
or it's a
sure-
privilege, not a.
It's so
right.
it's so surely the 90s because these days that's a compliment.
Oh yeah.
a pooper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no longer like a negative thing.
Yeah, thanks Kim K, my Armenian friend. You made gigantic butts cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, she did it all herself too.
Yeah, there was no help.
Yeah,
Cultural influence didn't really do anything.
She's
It
the
was
biggest
just her.
cultural influencer of our time, Kim K.
They eventually head
Oh, God.
upstairs into Kate's room.
Oh yeah.
Check out her sweet
The
piece
cool.
of hardware.
This is a New
we gonna
York
watch
City
this?
apartment.
Yeah.
This is a New York City
Her mom is a
apartment.
rich New York writer, so it's like a
Yeah.
gorgeous,
She's like a
ridiculous, over-the-top
crazy
apartment.
Self-help woman's book sold at 2 million copies.
You guys
So
ever
her
go to
mom
parties
is-
like that?
Her mom is loaded.
A high school
never-
party?
That's like the stereotypical like cool high school kid party. I've never been to a party
High school
like
kid
that.
party in New York City.
I'm not a cool kid. I don't.
Is
get
that what
not
that's
just-
like? You're a New
It
York City
probably
guy.
is. It probably you just someone's apartment. Whoever has the coolest apartment, they just have
Yeah.
a party.
Imagine
That's
it
actually
happens.
very much like a New York City party. They don't have a live DJ, but it's a it's just someone's house, and you
Yeah.
just go to different rooms.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
check out
it's-
upstairs at Kate's house.
Oh,
what the game's up
are we
to.
gonna talk about some laptops? Kate's
Yeah,
new
yeah,
laptop.
we're gonna talk about it.
Ooh, and here we're gonna see the technique I'm talking about, where they project on
The
their
hell are you
faces.
It's cool. I'm just looking.
It's got 28.8 BPS modem.
Yeah.
It's too much machine for you.
I doubled the RAM.
It's too much machine for you.
It's got 8 megabytes of RAM.
No, it's got like a
She doubled
a
it.
P9, which is better than a Pentium.
Their speed clearly sped
The
up. his
sound of
hands.
typing is just so good.
So see, we see the projection on his face.
Dude, everything about her's so cool.
Has a killer refresh rate.
Her watch is upside down.
The refresh rate's killer.
P6 chip.
Yeah, she looks like this.
Triple the speed of the Pentium.
It's triple the speed of the Pentium, the P6 chip.
So the Pentium 3?
You knew that.
But
PCI
no,
bus.
It has a PC bus, right?
Risk architecture is going to change everything.
Risk is good.
Can you just kiss me right
Look,
now,
what's
please?
funny is, and that's the projector is coming from the other
machine's
side
not
of that
going
scene.
to
You can tell.
waste.
Crash override.
Dude, she looks
What was it?
so cool.
Mess with the best. Die like
This
the
guy's the
rest.
original negger. This is the first
Yeah.
negging that there is.
What is he negging?
He just like constantly doubts her ability. She just beat him in their first fight, and he's just like, "You
okay.
sure this machine's not
Okay.
going to waste?" It's like, dude,
I think it's
He-
right,
she just beat
yeah,
you.
It's right there where they have it out, and she tells him, "I'm acid burn," and then he connects the dots.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
she's the
you're
one
the
that
one I had that first.
You're
hacker
the one
fight
that
with.
booted me out of OTV, and it's like, she just beat you. Are you really? Should you really be calling her out?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do. Then they call each other out, and they want to
they're
have that
very
competition. They
feisty.
want to see who's the best, and then at that point, they move forward
Yeah.
into trying to make
He's-
Agent Gills
he's-
last the living hell.
He's doing the thing where he's like pulling her hair on the playground to like get her attention.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like fight. They're calling each other names. They're pulling each other's hair. Oh wait, so do we have? Are we gonna?
I
transition
do. I
into
don't know
the-
if we don't have to go into it. I got
No,
like
we
a
don't-
clip.
we don't
I got a
watch this
clip
one.
of the peak of the hacker face-off when they were.
The hacker
announcing him
face-off
as
is
deceased.
amazing.
They like go up to the top of the building and
Yeah.
like plug their computer into because again, no wireless internet.
There's no
here.
wireless.
They
They
go
always
up-
have to. Like tap into the building.
Yeah, they were up to the top of a building and
Let's
tap
watch
into
it,
the
let's
phone
watch it.
system. You want to see? We can check it out right now. This
Let's
is like
watch
the
it.
peak of the hacker face-off between Angelina Jolie and Dade.
And in the beginning,
Dude, they're on like the Empire State Building or something crazy.
in
like,
the
these are
beginning, he does.
fantastic shots.
He hacks into
Look at
the phone line outside of the apartment building. Also, God, it looks so great. New York is beautiful. Wait, is the Trade Center in there?
the music is like they're doing work here.
This is where you like hack the planet.
Again, look at all the
Construction.
GUI is all custom. The laptops itself are custom.
Probably video they play on there.
How did they even get up here? Serial's like they're like hardware guy.
Dude, the soundtrack in this movie is so good.
And this is like a look at like what people can do to manipulate your life because everything is online and all your personal data is basically up for grabs.
Because I'm wondering if people are watching this, they're like, haha, that can't happen.
Dude, look
Yeah,
what
that
they're
would
wearing.
happen. And it does happen.
It's so cool.
Look at this crowding around this phone.
And he keeps looking at her while he's hacking. Watch.
I mean,
They're
I
like-
would. I would.
Check me out.
They're like a band, dude.
Watch this.
you
He
know?
looks at her. Oh, yeah.
Are you
yeah,
watching this? Are
Yeah.
you watching this?
You see what I'm doing?
Look at it. Look at that.
I'm gonna make him deceased.
He's dead now.
This is accounting, sir. You inquired about an employee of ours, Agent Richard Gill.
Yes.
Our records indicate he's deceased.
What? Dead.
Trailer
Dead?
drop. That's so good.
Like rigor mortis.
Oh
habeas
my God.
corpus.
Very impressive.
Superhero-like even.
Superhero
Lillard
like
is
even.
such a guy.
Oh god, they got quotables.
There's so many quotables. So many
It's like-
Supreme hacking montages. I mean, I'm going to have to skip over some of these. There's just, and leave them
Yeah.
for some of you guys to go back
So-
and watch. There's so many cool hacker montages.
There's a lot of ways that hacking can be boring, and they do a really good job of making hacking seem super cool. When in actuality, it's a guy in an apartment
Guessing
by
a lot.
himself, plugging in passwords or like whatever. Whereas you're or a program doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like a social thing. They're all doing it together. They're intercutting actions with, Gil getting arrested, getting his credit card cut up, like all that kind of stuff. So it seems really exciting. It's like this montage of like crazy shit that happened over an entire month, condensed into like 2 minutes.
To just like mess with this guy. And again, like in this, it's like, it's never for their own benefit. They're just messing with the guy who is trying to take them down. Ultimately, the harm is temporary, and
payback for Joey is also like motivating.
Yeah. Also, Joey is like under house arrest.
Some guy from the chat asked, "Is that Bunk from The Wire?" And I think it is. I think it is Bunk from The Wire.
Who?
Right?
Nikon? Wait.
No, the Agent Gil.
Agent Gil? I don't know. I've never seen The Wire.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I heard
okay,
it's
never mind.
so good.
I think it is.
It's amazing.
I think it
know.
is. I think it is. By the way, it is. It is.
I heard it's amazing.
Whatever.
Even Eric says it's good. I gotta watch it.
It's probably terrible.
Are you kidding me, dude?
It's around this point that they're trying to figure out what's on the disc, and Dade is getting confronted from Belford that, he's like, I got your mom here, I can change your record, I can make your life a living hell, and he makes that decision to return the disc. Do you want to watch the disc drop off or pick up?
Yeah. The disc drop off's really funny.
The disc pickup is just something.
It's straight out of the Matrix, and the shot at the end is fucking amazing. So we have to watch it. Yeah,
it's also got a beautiful shot, so that's why we got to watch it. This is the disc pickup.
Is this the disc pickup?
Wait, we skipped ahead to a dream sequence.
Wrong, Eric. Cut
what was that? What was that?
I don't know.
It was the next one, but we're going to be skipping some just for the sake of time.
That's okay. Not your fault.
Disc pickup.
What's on it.
Yeah.
She came to me to figure it out. She's not the one who planted the
This
virus.
is a great example in practical fashion as well. Look at that. Okay, the bokeh in this, you can tell they use anamorphic lens because of the bokeh. That's like a really, really nice lens. How it's oblong like that, instead of circular.
Dude, look at where he is.
These shots are so cool.
Yeah, these are boner shots. This whole scene is a boner shot.
This whole scene's a boner shot scene for sure.
Even the wardrobe. Look, he's got like his pants are tied together.
And if you guys don't know what we mean by boner shot, it's like it feels like they just did this just so they could show off like how gorgeous set and set up.
They had an idea in their head with the backdrop of New York, and they wanted to do a specific shot a specific way.
Oh my god, I remember.
See, again, anamorphic lenses, guys. See those big lens flares across? Anamorphic lenses.
Here comes the plague for the disc.
He's got
it.
it.
Takes it and he's out. And then this is the shot. This is the
when he runs in the street.
I've changed my mind.
Look at this.
Look at his pants, dude. They're tied together for some reason.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Look at that. He's got like a strap. Look at that, dude. Oh my god, that's so sick.
The water and the smoke.
That should have been Batman there.
Yeah, the water and the. It looks like Batman, doesn't it?
Right?
Batman. It looks like Tim Burton Batman is what I'm reminded of, which just came out a couple years before this. So it actually maybe it was influenced by it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was wicked right there.
All
that
very much so
for a disc handoff.
Yeah,
but
that was like 40 seconds.
Yeah, all that was just for an awkward disc handoff scene.
And then he just disappears into the smoke.
Yeah.
He's like a ninja.
He can't go
anywhere. It's like a smoke bomb.
He's
straight out of like.
And he's stuck there dealing with what he has to do.
Dade changing his mind at the last second. Yeah, and then he changes his mind for the movie. Right as he hands it off.
That white smoke. Someone from chat was asking. That's actually very common in New York. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens in Chicago too.
Yeah, it's just like it's under like laundromats or like. Whatever.
It's like the sewer discharge. It's the steam discharge.
I see a lot where they put the cone thing on top and they'll just let it chimney all the way up much higher.
Yeah.
And not have it just come straight off the ground like you'll see there. Maybe in some parts
there's
of the
like
city,
apartment complex in Chicago by me where it's like in the middle of the courtyard. There's one of those, and it's just like billowing up into all the apartment buildings, just like screwed.
At this point now, Dade is ready to work with the hackers again because remember they came to him for help, like help us, and he's like no. Now he's like let's figure out what it is. So they come together to try to crack what this garbage file is and why it's so important. This includes a hacker montage.
Is it the montage?
Check this out. It's a montage of them at the place.
This is one of the coolest montages.
Okay, so we're gonna check this one out. Let's check out them trying to figure out what is going on.
And this is one of the more realistic ones.
Yeah, they're actually grinding away here. This is they're on the MMR grind.
Great cut right there. Eric used to work in that building apparently.
The Chrysler?
So yeah, so here, this is like much more like real hacking. Okay, yeah, playing Invoker.
Playing your Earth
Spirit. Invoker.
Exorc. But like they're just
hanging out.
They went through the garbage. They grabbed all this like data dump cache files that are literally a printout, and they're just trying to dump stuff in, see what comes out, and figure it out.
Yeah.
All these clips, guys, please clip these and use these for when you're trying to understand
these are
something.
Just, like meme gifs for sure. You'll see it also begin to become more like almost organic, the hacking. Like right there.
There.
Like, whoa, what is happening? It's like
it looks like a fractal.
It's like underwater.
It looks like a fractal, but I don't think it actually is. I thought it was before. Ooh, gotta be eating pizza
Gotta
when
be
you're staying
eating
up all night.
pizza. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be part of their friend group. Hang out with them.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Joe
just be in the
Cola,
room.
Pizza.
Yeah.
So now they've just discovered that it's a worm. It's nibbling away, taking bits of money from all the transactions and gobbling it up into one big account.
Isn't really gone. It's just data being shifted around.
And when the worm's ready, it zips out with the money and erases its trash.
Joey got cut off before
Matthew
he got
Lillard's like,
to
please
that
kiss me.
point. It's already running at what? Twice the speed is when it started.
And at this rate,
Wow.
They'd make the discovery.
Oh.
And
That's right before when Nikon recognizes them.
Yeah. Right after that, they figure out that he's Zero Cool. They get really mad. It's really quick. Right?
Nikon fanboys a little bit.
They get really mad because he tells him that, I gave him the disc, but then he's like, but
Why?
I'm Zero Cool.
Yeah, well, they're like, why? Why would they go to you? And he's like, I have a record. I have a history. And they're like, what? And then he has to. That's why they went to Dave in the first place. That they're like, you're Zero Cool. You have to know some of the hackers here. You know,
Yeah.
what's your ins and outs? Tell us about your friends. They bribe him with a laptop even. But now he's working with them again, and he's like, yeah, I did all this shit in the past, but you know.
What a strange name, Dade, by the way.
Dade. Yeah, I had to double check it wasn't Dave until I
No,
looked it
yeah,
back
they use
over.
it the whole
It's
movie.
Dade Murphy.
They actually never call him by his name unless they're referencing something. But
Crash Override.
Yeah.
The good CO. But what we don't show here is they end up also tapping into the police lines or system, and they get a notice that tomorrow they're gonna arrest them all.
Is that right?
That's
after
between
that?
happens between.
Something else happens, and then because
No,
they're
they go
over
dumpster diving.
And
They go dumpster diving.
They go dumpster diving information here to be able to crack it, but
And they
they've
tap
also,
the phone.
They've also tapped the phone. Yeah, in there they tap the phone that they are out
He's
to
like
get them.
between that lady's legs.
Yeah, that scene is
And
ridiculous.
she's like pushed in all the way
Yeah,
so that
her
legs are
What?
spread.
Like,
Get
just
under
go to
there,
the bathroom
okay.
or something. Like leave.
It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
man.
They tap the phones on 2 different spots to
Yeah.
be able to hear when the police are going to be going out to catch them, and they also heard the game plan that was going to happen the next day. So that's when they knew like they had to do something within that timing window. Is when they, at that point, reach out for help. They reach out to Razorblade, the hacker gods. They reach out to everyone like, we're going to need some help here, otherwise, you know, hackers are going to get brought down, and
Like a
you know,
fake
we're
Rage
getting
Against the
framed.
Machine.
We're getting framed for some shit right
Yeah.
now. Something's going on. So now we get to move into the final like hacker setup where they go to Grand Central Station to kind
Yeah.
of set up for the final hacker battle.
the ultimate visualization.
Yeah, so some cool stuff there. Let's just get into it.
First off, all these guys are really rollerblading.
Yeah.
Except
Fast. They're
Angelina
going
Jolie.
fast.
No, she does too.
Barely.
Yeah, she does, dude. She's into it.
All right, there was a little tension breaker that had to be done, all right?
Syria,
Yeah?
go fix the phones.
Roger. You got another couple, man?
All right, Dave, what is that? What are you putting on?
What's the scouter say
Like,
about
I
his
don't know-
hacking level?
yeah, that is just them like,
It's over
he's a
9,000.
serious hacker because he's wearing this thing, which we don't know what the hell it is or what it
Look
does.
at them all step into it. Oh shit.
The best part of it is they each have their own loadout.
Look at it.
Oh,
Everything.
little screen.
Everything's custom,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Custom keys.
Look, right there. That's the lens right there. That's the
Yeah.
Nikon lens. Acid
bad.
Crash.
burn.
Acid burn, yeah.
He's a four.
Look at that.
4-character password.
There's a very
Logging
specific
on.
lens that they had to
Dude.
use to get that one shot right there.
This is like invading the Death Star.
So now all their hackers, they're all loading in, they're logging in, getting into the Gibson, and trying to help to continue to create
Look how slow it's typing.
diversions.
So they're making viruses to mask them trying to find the.
They're just
the
going to
garbage
use
file.
every virus they have. They're
They
gonna
are
just dump
in the
it.
system creating diversions with hacks. The Razorblade and all the other hackers out there, and they even have
They
a
come
montage
help 'em,
showing-
yeah.
They come help them even on the outside. They like hack traffic lights to slow down everyone from getting there, like, and they're just causing a ruckus. We saw serial killer leave because he's going to move and set up like a phone distraction or decoy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're trying to crash as much time or give themselves as much time as they can because now they're moving into the Gibson. They're trying to find the garbage file so they can get the full package, the full bit of information now. So we're winding down to it here. They go through, they manage to crack everything out. They get the viruses, they get the code, and then they get to exposing him. And this whole, exposing him at the end is just really interesting because, you know, they hack another broadcast network to release the information, but they kind of just take his word for it and move forward. And just
it's hilarious because
it's kind of weird.
like
they don't check any of it.
So they're in the police station. They're all under arrest and they're being interrogated. And then suddenly the TV pops up and it's serial killer. And
they believe him. They're just like, there's no fake news back then.
Yeah, there's no fake news.
If he's on TV, he's right.
He's just like, it's not us, man. It's Eugene.
Yeah.
He did it. And they're like, oh my God.
Agent Gill right away is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really weird.
He's like, you can go now.
Bye, guys. Everybody gets out.
To set up this, like, the final scene here, I guess I didn't say it appropriately. Like, after they manage to hack in, they do manage to, thanks to Joey, he gets right back to his garbage file, and they're able to kind of...
Are we not going to watch the 360
spinning? Oh, wait, yeah, that was supposed to be in there. Oh, I may have...
Did we fuck up?
I may have not included it. I may have fucked up and not...
That's fine.
All right, I wanted to just describe the scene because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
they
it's
are
funny.
in the phone booth, and the visual is that the phone booth is spinning around, and the camera is spinning around each phone booth.
Oh, no, I do have it.
Oh, you do?
It should be... we watched Final Hack Setup, correct, Eric? Now we have Epic Hack Showdown.
Watch the Epic Hack Showdown.
We do have Epic Hack Showdown.
It is. It's so
I didn't
worth
fuck up.
watching.
Let's check it out.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's got Google Glass on.
Game's over. Last chance to get out of this without a prison sentence.
Can you turn it up slightly?
You're not good enough to beat
Thank you.
me.
Shit. Yeah, maybe I'm not. We are, you asshole.
Give it up.
We got a fork bomb here.
Just give it up.
Are we fashionably late?
Oh, I forgot to look. Trust your techno luck.
Guys from, guys from...
So they're dialing all the hackers.
Okay, let's go.
Guys from England.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, 用意できたからやってみよう。
Gato. Oh, yeah.
The Russian hackers are helping us.
And they're drinking Pepsi.
Sono pronta. Andiamo.
Oh, shit. So, spinning telephone booths right now. And each of the hackers are in the zone, and they're hacking away. The viruses are uploaded.
The 3D stuff is overlaid.
This is it. This is the pinnacle of hacking right now. And what leads to after this is they're able to manage to break in, find where the file is, again, thanks to Joey, copy, get a hold of that in a new disc, just as law enforcement does show up and kind of catch them in the act. But they do manage to sneak the disc into a nearby trash can for serial
this
killer
scene
to be able
is so
to find later.
long. I forgot how long it was.
Yeah, this is right. It's
Everyone
still
is spinning. Everyone's
spinning
spinning.
montage, electricity.
Ooh, look at the Gibson getting wrecked. Every one of those red dots is a
Everything's
virus.
red now. It's not cool anymore.
They're going for the Colonel.
Colonel who?
The system command processor. It's the brain.
Colonel who?
Oh, the CEO's here.
Alf, what's going on?
In short, Duke, a shitstorm.
Everything
That's
is
so
getting
cool.
absolutely destroyed, wrecked.
Dude, there's like a visual art team behind this that did such a good job at bringing to life all these very, mundane and ethereal ideas.
The Gibson's that big green square, and then when they go in, it's like 3 red things, and he's just like, delete, getting rid of them.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, it's getting fucking...
There's too much. You can't keep track of them all, man.
Cool. I think a visualization we don't get to show here that was cool is like the tankers like about to like tip. They're showing everything unflooding, like, oh, it's about to go.
Nice
oh,
wireframe
okay.
animation.
Yeah, some cool stuff. So there's the final hack showdown, and then it rolls into him getting exposed. Do we want to watch that clip at all? I mean, all you get to see is Matthew Lillard projected up everywhere, even Times Square, revealing the information and revealing the account code. Like, this is where the money's going. And yeah, they're in the police station like, yay, we did it.
$25 million.
We're free. And they just let him go.
One of those 90s part about this movie is in a bad way. Like, everything in this movie is 90s in so good way, but this ending is just like, it's just not good.
Well, the real ending's them on the date, not...
Which we have that. We'll check out the final ending
the
now.
The callback to the... I can't believe I never fucking noticed that. The ending with the pool scene.
Yeah?
Yeah, how
What do you mean?
In the beginning of the movie...
The pool, yeah.
Angelina Jolie tricks him into going up to the roof on his first day of school. And he's like, oh, you should check out the pool on the roof. It's really cool. There's no pool on the roof. And when you go outside, it locks you up there. And at the end of the movie, they're actually on a roof, in a pool, making out
Let's check
getting
out
really cute.
the ending of Hackers right now.
Anyway, you're pretty good. You're elite.
You're elite.
Yeah? You know, if you would have said so in the beginning, you would have saved yourself a whole lot of trouble.
See? Negging works.
No wonder they started dating after this, by the way. This scene's amazing.
So they kind of allude, they check out this
Crash and Burn. They got a new name together.
in the windows of the building says Crash and Burn in the horizon. One last little.
And then they start making out
Tip my
underwater.
fedora.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
His hacking skills.
Is that their friends or them? I think it's their friends
Been
that did
having
that.
really weird
Dreams?
Are they swimming still?
Because they're standing, dude. By the way, I love all the little film scratches and stuff that happen in this movie. It's all fucking dumb.
And they go underwater and then they drown, guys. They actually end up dying.
Everybody
Crazy
dies.
thing. They die at the end and it's over.
It's a weird ending.
And,
Dude.
Yeah, that's
He gets the
Hackers.
girl. He is now hacker elite. He's got his group of friends. Everything's great.
He's probably going to MIT.
Yeah. What do you think the sequel of this movie is?
The sequel
Hackers
of
2, if
this
they ever did a sequel.
is that that company
This
has
guy
now
influences
become,
the 2016 election.
No, that company has now become like a dating mining facility, and they're getting hacked. So they bring back the team that saved them from their last
They're
hack,
old.
and it's the band's getting back together story, right?
Is it? Or is
Yeah.
it the new hackers?
You think no? I think it's going to be the new hackers are going to be young guys, and we figure out that of course the corporation is doing something bad still.
Oh,
and
this
that
guy-
the other hackers are doing something
Dave
good
Murphy
again.
currently works at Google, and he's the reason why they know exactly where you are at all times.
Yeah, it's got to be about data mining. I mean, that's like the whole thing of right now. And
I
like
don't-
hacking into people's or the Internet of Things. I mean, this is about the Internet of Things, right? In this movie, sprinkler systems are online, these oil tankers, the TV networks, everything is accessible through that. Nowadays, dude, our fridges are connected to the internet. You have an Alexa in your home that like you talk to. It's
I've seen clips of people showing that they can like hack into the cars and force their brakes to not work. And
Yeah.
stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that I think maybe would be a more interesting like continuation of this story is the Internet of Things and how many things are connected to online and how you can manipulate that to do what you want.
Yeah, this is the prequel to Edward Snowden's entire life. He's just like
Showcasing
Dave
the
Murphy's like,
hacking though
that's him.
Hollywood style in a movie today would be really weird though. Like how would you showcase like hacking?
to do this,
in a
but,
Hollywood
like,
movie? But like I feel like
cooler.
people would look at this and feel like
Updated
it's too
visuals.
dated.
I mean, the visuals look awesome in this. So.
I think
Like,
the visuals
awesome.
are
Like,
really
you
good.
could you just pull that off again today and people would be like, "That's awesome." You think they would?
Didn't they do it kind of in the third Matrix movie? Kind of where the guy was like. programming
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean they've done it a lot in a lot of different things. So I wanted to shift into a little bit more behind the scenesy stuff.
Yeah, that's the
about this
movie.
movie.
Amazing movie. Dan,
Yeah.
hit us up
Yeah,
with a
I
bit
fucking
about the
love this
movie.
movie, dude.
What's going on?
Are we doing the character rankings all this shit now or after?
We can do this now because I want to get in. So I want to talk about money. I want to talk about budget and
hit us
and
with a quick budget.
We can talk about the characters though. Well, we're in character mode. Let's talk about the characters. You want to do that?
I don't
Let's rank
care.
them. I don't want to do
think
it
it's fair.
after.
Yeah,
Who's your favorite? Who do you think wins the thing? Your top two.
What, as an actor or as a character?
Just which two characters you like the most?
Favorite
acting performances or
characters walking away from this for me would be Matthew Lillard as
Number one?
serial killer
Yeah.
and Angelina Jolie as Acid Burn.
What about you?
I think I like Freak and Angelina.
Freak's definitely in
Freak
mine.
and Angelina are incredible.
Yeah.
I like Freak. He's probably the funniest in the movie. Every single thing he says is great. He's like when he's talking to Joey and he's just like, "Gotta stop letting your mama dress you, man. You
Dude,
hopeless."
yeah.
He's funny. Yeah.
You hopeless.
Yeah.
He's got that attitude the whole time.
Yeah. The whole time he's just like cool and. Yeah, like that part where like the Secret Service or the FBI breaks into his room and his mom starts hitting him and he's like,
Yeah.
"Arrest me already!"
Yeah, what are you doing? Put me in cuffs.
Yeah.
It's hilarious too because like he's so over the top with everything. Again, the scene where he puts the disc behind the condom machine.
Yeah.
You know, you remember that thing, the time we put the thing into place? You know, it's so fucking funny. But he doesn't really do that much after this.
Yeah.
He's in Dangerous Minds. Super famous Michelle Pfeiffer,
Oh,
Teacher in the
Coolio.
Hood,
Yeah.
Coolio
That's the
Coolio
the
Gangster's
song.
Paradise.
Gangster's
The song.
Paradise is
Yeah.
from
Paradise,
that.
yeah.
So he plays a much more hardcore version of a high
Yeah.
schooler in that movie. And then he kind of like is sprinkled into some things, but I don't know if he went to theater, you know, if he moved somewhere else and did a different role. I couldn't really figure that out, but his movie life is like Hackers, Dangerous Minds, like a TV show, and like that's it.
And probably Matthew Lillard. I would go Freak and Lillard. But.
Lillard, yeah, he's right under there. And I think honestly, because we see so many Matthew Lillard performances later in his career, that this is just another one on that list, whereas this is very standout for the actor who played Freak because you don't really see him anywhere else. So it's like kind of more top tier. And Angelina is just a screen stealer. Every time she goes on, you can't look away. She's gorgeous, she's cool, and she's talented, and it's like everything you would want in the female lead, I think. Like
she's like one of those, like, you know how they have those tropes about those female characters that are like awesome at everything and like super hot and whatever.
Mary Sue?
Yeah, Mary Sue, kind of like manic pixie dream girl type. Mm-hmm. And she manages to do it without seeming over the top. Like, she's a very believable character, even though no one like that exists, really.
Well, I could see something like that existing in my mind, right?
Angelina Jolie, she got that style and everything. It's just, like, they somehow managed to make her feel like a good character.
I think that she is I would know somebody like her, but never be able to talk to her because I'm so intimidated, and that's the kind
she's
of
too
person
cool.
I'd
She's way
invent.
too cool for us, and you know, like that whole that character could easily have been very annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yes.
And guys, she gets naked in the movie.
Like Scarlett.
Just so you know, boobs.
There's boobs.
Like, was it
Scarlett
Scarlett Johansson in that movie where they steal the SATs?
That's like a real.
It's like you're like a hot girl that we tacked onto the movie. You know, that's what it feels like. The token like hot girl in it, but she doesn't feel like that. She actually feels like a hot
How
girl,
old is Angelina Jolie in this movie?
Probably like 18, 20 or something like that.
Yeah, she's really young.
She's
But
really
this
young.
came out in '95, so this is like a almost 30-year-old movie.
30 years.
Wait, no. What is it?
20 years.
No, 20.
Are you kidding me?
20.
30 years.
23. It's like 23-year-old movie.
Yeah, 23. The 20-year mark was when they released the Blu-ray as like
So,
a special
23
anniversary.
years.
Yeah, we should have watched the Blu-ray with all the special features. I didn't really think about that.
Angelina
but-
Jolie like 40, so she's got to be like 18 at the time.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about this movie, they had a 20-year anniversary re-release of the movie where they put everything out again. And they had a bunch of extra commentary and all this kind of stuff. That's how we probably should have watched it, but
No.
I'm happy that we did this on our own and did it our own way. Okay, so
I want to give a runner-up to the Plague, though. I thought, man,
The Plague?
to
You
be the
Plague.
Plague, to be the Plague.
Dude, he was
and
in
that kind of-
VR.
I thought he was
He was in
okay.
VR.
I thought he was pretty good at being an evil guy. You
again,
know?
another
Being a
very
real
prolific
asshole.
thing, the VR sequence
VR.
in here.
VR 1995.
Oh yeah.
He's
he had
on
a VR scene in there.
a walking treadmill and he's like punching. He's got a headset on, and it's not that different from Rift, dude.
Honestly, that felt like a Vive or a Rift
Fisher
kind of like.
Stevens.
That's how people look when they're using the Vive.
Fisher Stevens.
Yeah, so he is an actor that's been around for a long time in a lot of different things. It's like one of those guys you can't really pinpoint where he's from.
in, like,
but
everything.
You know what is one movie that I know you love? That is how he became famous.
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element is
he in
not
that
what
or
I'm
no?
thinking.
Is he in that?
I don't know if he's in Fifth Element.
I might be wrong. Anyways, what is it?
Is he in Fifth Element?
No.
He's not in
I'm
Fifth
thinking
Element.
someone else. Sorry.
Short Circuit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in Short Circuit.
Oh, we might have to do that.
Yeah.
It's more nostalgic.
I've
Yeah.
never watched Short Circuit.
You ever watch it? Oh, it's it's one of our. It's definitely going to be on the list of
Like
like
Pacific
weird,
Rim.
Right.
It's exactly like Pacific Rim, but take away everything that Pacific Rim has and replace it with other stuff.
It's a robot movie. So.
Yeah. He's great. I think sometimes he can be so over the top.
A little too cheesy.
A little too cheese.
Yeah, he has a little cheese to him.
The cheese dick is real.
But I would take that over his counterpart. It's just
What do you mean? Yeah, I know. She's terrible.
ecological disaster. What is it? Ecological.
You're going to create a virus that causes a worldwide ecological disaster just to arrest some hacker kid?
All right, so let's play a little. I like playing these guessing games.
Okay,
budget
so
You're gonna
the director in this movie, before this, he makes a movie about the Beatles when they spent their time in Germany. Okay, and then that movie's pretty well received. It's released limited in U.S., but mostly in Germany and the UK. He gets this gig. What budget do you think this movie had, if you had to guess?
$2 million.
$5 million.
Okay. It was a $20 million movie. Now, what do you think happened in this movie when it was released? Was it well received by critics, and did it do well at the box office?
I think tepid release. Tepid box office.
I want to say it did not do well. I felt like
I think it
most of the
recovered. I think it
kids
made more than $20 million.
want to see it didn't make it out to see.
Overall in its lifetime.
Okay. maybe in its lifetime, but theatrically, total bomb.
Okay,
loses
what
a ton of money, makes $7 million.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
so
God,
this movie lost $13 million.
So we're wrong about that. I thought I went to see it on like opening night. Shit.
Reviews are mixed. Ebert even kind of gives up to it, but a lot of people hate. It's like one of those things where some people are like, I feel like this is just out of the grasp of what we're doing. Like Roger Ebert's article.
This is before memes.
Go back and read his article. It's very interesting because he kind of talks about because everybody bashes this movie for bad acting and like bad characters, bad story.
The characters feel very authentic to me.
I like it, and I think it's because it's so far out of its time, and I think Ebert kind of touches into that. So he loses $13 million with this. So now let's talk about where he goes from here.
Yeah.
And his career.
It's the bomb. He
This
just
is a
bombed
very
out.
interesting
Where you go now?
Can I just say, at the time, no one could ever envision kids and people and high school students interacting with each other like that. And now it feels like that's totally like something that could happen.
Yes. 100%.
Whereas back then it's just like, these people are crazy, you know?
So he makes this movie. It's a fucking bomb. He's only done one thing before, which was very, very small budget and was only remotely successful. But he somehow starts getting more gigs. And but this guy, I mean, to be honest, dude, he continually fails up. So, he gets weird properties. So he makes a movie then. What happens is he makes one successful movie called The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson.
Was that
Do you remember that? It's like a horror movie.
Vaguely remember that.
Okay, so this makes it's like a $43 million budget, pretty big budget movie. It makes like $27 million. Okay, so he does well, right? And then it's bomb after bomb. He makes K-Pax. Do you remember that movie?
K-Pax was good.
Okay, yeah, that was a gigantic flop.
But it was
I
good.
had no
That's
idea
Kevin
how
Spacey.
bad it did. It loses $18 million.
Did you watch the movie though? That
yeah,
movie was good.
I watched that movie. It was okay. It reminded me of the other one with John Travolta.
Phenomenon.
Oh,
Same thing, in my opinion.
The best scene from Phenomenon is him naming mammals.
Yeah.
Test.
Okay, so then he makes
dude, this guy's like a sci-fi.
The
tech
biggest
genius.
flop, dude, he has. Okay, is I should have done this differently. I should have just asked you to guess the biggest flop, but whatever. Do you remember a movie called Inkheart?
Inkheart?
Inkheart with Brandon Fraser at the top of his career, post Mummy. He makes this movie called Inkheart. It's about an adventurer dad who has books that he can bring to life. Huge budget.
No, I don't remember that movie at all.
Okay, so it's like a $60 million budget, and it just gets smashed, $17 million in the U.S. Just absolutely destroyed. Inkheart.
How does he keep getting jobs, dude?
After that, he stops getting jobs.
Okay.
He
Enough's
is
enough.
now doing like very small budget weird things and not really at the helm anymore. But I mean, over this guy's career, he's lost almost $100 million for studios. Think about that. This is a guy. This is a professional career. He's considered successful.
$100 million.
And he's like lost almost $100 million for these studios. Unbelievable.
This movie shouldn't have. If it was released recently with updated stuff, it would make so much money.
So I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, how does this guy fuck up all these movies, still have a career, continue to fuck up more? And then I look at this movie and I'm like, how is this movie so fucking good?
This movie's amazing.
So I dig in a little bit more
Okay, all right.
about who else is making this movie. And I think something that we forget all the time, and we got to talk about it with Blade Runner because he's so famous, but the directors of photography, the cinematographers, the guys who actually decide, here's your idea, this is how we're going to make it happen, and the guys who actually shoot it. The guy who did this is a Polish guy. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm looking at Andrzej Sekula. And I was looking at him, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. And then I looked at his work, holy shit, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, American Psycho.
This actually, the way it's shot actually reminds me a lot
Yes.
of Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
That's
what I thought
actually
too.
pretty funny. I was like, wait a second.
So this is you said the director of cinematography?
Yeah, the DOP, director of photography, or the cinematographer. Those are the two kind of names for them.
Wow.
Like if you took Travolta's character and just sat him down, it
He's
looked
got
like
to.
That's why the
dude.
imagery is very
That's
similar.
why it all
Okay.
looks so good and it stands up and it feels so
Pulp Fiction
right.
feels the same way when you watch it now.
It's and it's kind of like the same. It's like a
It looks
gang
modern,
of all these
yeah.
kind of people and like timeless. So
That's-
interesting to think.
that's
So
great.
that's the kind of stuff that goes in this movie. A guy like that can get attached to the project and really bring it to the next level. And then a director whose name is more synonymous with it, kind of fucks up the rest of his career and doesn't actually do anything interesting.
And that
did
guy's
like
awesome.
Yeah.
So what else did he do? He
really
did Pulp
cool.
Fiction. What else?
American Psycho, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. Those are his like top 3 huge ones. He's done more. I don't remember them all
God.
off the top of my head.
So
Rush
good
is
resume
one.
already.
oh Jesus.
Yeah, he did a lot of he does also like he mixes between like Eastern European action like
Was he on
B
K-Pax
movies.
or?
He was not on K-Fax. And then going into like kind of bigger budget American stuff, but yeah, I mean, Pulp Fiction is pretty legendary. So funny how that kind of thing happens. This movie again is a big flop. Doesn't do well, and it becomes a very big cult classic for people like me and you. Well, I guess you hadn't seen it, but
I
like,
watched this movie the
but like
most.
I
This
watch
movie's
it all the time. My brother brought it home. My brother, who's kind of like the culture maker for my family, brought this home, and we would just watch it all the time. It influenced every single thing we did and how I related to computers.
I wish I was as good as they are hacking at anything.
And looked as good doing it. The
Yeah, they
aesthetic,
look
dude.
awesome.
They are a rock band. It's so cool. Like, they're just awesome. They dress awesome. They look awesome. Everything they do is custom and neat, and you want it. Such a fucking good movie.
It's a great movie.
And Joey.
Good.
I'm Joey. Like, teach me.
Hey.
What's my
I would just mess
username?
up.
I looked like Joey when I was a kid. I'm just like an idiot, bumbling around, smoking cigarettes, like backwards
When he was
hat.
double fisting the cigarettes and he said he's not an addict.
Oh, yeah.
That was the funniest
I'm gonna get
scene.
some coffee.
I'm gonna get some coffee, guys.
So what's our next movie going to be, you guys?
Oh, yeah, we
What's
gotta
our
decide
next-
this,
What's our
right?
next movie buff going to be? Because we've been having this unique order of doing like esports doc. We had Blade Runner, which is a brand
Thor
new film.
Ragnarok is coming up. We
It
could do
is?
that one. Yeah.
You want to do Thor
It's like
of
next week or something.
Ragnarok, huh?
Another big temple movie.
We'll go back to like a
I
theater
could
movie.
look at what's coming up. If you want to
Yeah.
do, a
We're also
movie that
open to
comes up.
suggestions, guys. Any of our podcast listeners, feel free to hit us up. We have BTS Pods, which is our
Tweet at us.
Twitter podcast. And
I mean,
we'll take movie suggestions for sure.
Face Off or The Rock? Which would you rather do?
Oh,
I don't
The
know.
Rock,
I think I'd do
probably.
Face
I'd
Off.
do The Rock.
Face Off has
You
more
do The Rock?
memes to it. The Rock is like just a
Rock's
great
Nicolas
film, but
Cage.
I think Face Off comes with better memes.
Yeah, I
to
think
it to
Face
talk
Off is
about.
funnier in a
Face
good
Off
way.
will come with some funny stuff
But
too.
The Rock, those green balls, man. I just think
The
about
Rock
those
is a
all the
great
time. It's one of my
movie,
favorite
too.
props in a movie. It's just like they
It's an
look so
action
cool.
movie, dude.
But it might be good to balance.
The
things
Rock
out,
has
like, we
so
should-
many actors in it that go on to do other stuff. It's kind of amazing.
We talked about maybe doing The Artist, which is one of the newer movies that just came out.
The Artist? The
The
Artist?
Artist?
Is
The
this
Artist.
Is it an Envy movie?
That's the one with James Franco and
Oh.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it's disaster.
The Room.
The Disaster
The
Artist.
Disaster
or whatever.
Artist, yeah.
Have you ever seen The Room?
Little bits of it.
Thor
yeah.
Ragnarok is next week.
Hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. That's like the famous
Hi,
line.
dog.
Thor Ragnarok is next week. 2 weeks after that is Justice League.
Holy shit. We're about to hit the tent poles.
I have to actually. I need to watch a lot of superhero movies to get up to speed
You don't
with
need to
where
get
the
up to
universe
Disaster Artist is December
Like, I didn't
8th.
watch Guardians 2 yet.
all
Disaster
fight
Artist
each
is
other.
December 8th, and December 15th
Wait,
is
what was
Star
that
Wars.
one? Star Wars.
Holy shit.
So
Dude, so we're
I
going to be
think
doing some modern
We probably
films, I
so the
think.
next one we could either do Thor or which we probably won't, since I mean we're gonna have Smash Summit, but we could do Justice League and then old movie, and then probably after that.
Well, next week we're not going to have it, but the week after, right?
Yeah, we probably will not have movie buff next week because of Smash Summit.
Well, movie buffs every 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's what
tried
I'm
it.
saying. It wouldn't even happen normally.
So it's looking like our next one will probably be, you said, Justice League.
Or Thor. One of the
Possibly one of the
Justice League or Thor.
superhero movies.
Maybe
like
we
a new
can
hit.
maybe we can have a vote. Maybe we can do a vote with our
Let's
Twitter.
do a vote, guys. Do you want to do an old movie or a new one? I think that's probably.
You want to set up a vote right now with the people who are here?
We could, yeah. Whoever's watching is like 500 people. Let's hit. hit the,
so if
hit
we
the
do
vote.
something new, it's going to be something like Thor or Justice League. If we do something old, what do you think we might do for an old movie? I have a lot of options I'd always been talking about, but I mean, I want us to all have a fair shot. I think I push for Wizard hard. Ken push for Hackers hard. What do you want, Dan?
Yeah,
Is it a
Man,
classic?
maybe you should just pick
That's
one.
great. Well, okay, I'm supportive of those because The Wizard and Hackers are like some of my favorite movies of all time. So I'd have to think about it more. I don't know what I have in my like belly. You know, maybe some like Rookie of the Year action, some
like a kids film.
Sandlot.
We haven't
a
done
little
like
bit,
an old kids
a little bit
film.
younger.
My God.
Kids Sandlot would be amazing.
Well, yeah,
I'd
I mean-
love to do Sandlot.
Like, you know, I think it's fun to look at the like where are they now from the younger kid perspective and like see what they look like older. So that's kind of fun.
Let's put it at that. We'll say if we're doing a newer movie, we'll do either Thor, Justice League, and if we're gonna do an older movie, we'll do something like Rookie of the Year, Sandlot, or Little Giants, a sports kid old movie.
Sports kid old movie.
You could do
Angels
Mighty
in the
Ducks
Outfit.
too.
Mighty Ducks.
Angels in the
Ooh.
Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield's another fantastic one.
In the butter zone now.
In the butter zone now.
Are you just taking like what they're saying?
Do you have
or
a
are we
straw
doing
poll in there?
straw poll?
I do not have a straw
Do we have
poll in there. They're
technology?
suggesting stuff. Ex Machina,
Oh
Sneakers,
my God.
Hocus Pocus,
Hocus Pocus.
Dude,
Empire
I might
Records,
also, you know, I might do some
Halloween.
Ghost in
terrible
the
art
Shell,
film that'll
Kung
make people go to
Fury.
sleep.
Old
Kung
School.
Fury.
Oh, he says go old school, not do old school. But
Oh,
old
go.
school is a funny movie.
This is a funny movie.
Old school is great. That's what the Frat Pack, you know, that era of movies. Old School is probably the only one that still stands up in that, but God, those are funny, dude. I think I think Step Brothers is very underrated.
Step Brothers is amazing. It's like one of my all-time comedy.
And how they shoot that movie, they really make them look like little kids. Like when they're running up the
great.
stairs, that's fucking hilarious. All right,
so what's it feeling like? What's
we gotta
the gist?
figure it out.
What are we feeling? What's
I
the
don't
gist?
know, man.
Starship Troopers, someone suggested.
Should we just make a
Oh
vote?
my God, I might, dude. I might just like
Starship
jump on Starship
Troopers.
Troopers right now. Just
The
talk about my
Breakfast
girl,
Club.
Denise Richards.
Oh my God, Denise Richards in
The
Wild
Breakfast
Things.
Club.
John Hughes. Okay, we can do some John Hughes movies. You know that
Breakfast Club's great.
John
too.
Hughes movies were all shot in my neighborhood.
Let me tell you,
and
StarCraft.
at my high school.
StarCraft.
StarCraft?
What came first, StarCraft or Starship Troopers? StarCraft Brood War or Starship Troopers?
StarCraft.
When did Starship Troopers come out? Someone give me a date.
I was in
Early
7th
90s.
grade, so 98.
Mid-90s.
Is it earlier than 98, 97?
98?
StarCraft came out in 1999.
Wow.
Let me tell you, every single thing that's in StarCraft is in
Starship Troopers. Oh shit. That's our esports connection.
Those
That's the other
'cause
thing.
They have Ultralisks.
esports related. We don't.
They have Ultralisks. They have Zerglings.
Or
they have
gaming related.
Mutalisks. They have everything. Everything is in that
Oh,
movie.
what if we did the Mario movie?
Oh,
We've been talking
that's
about
a
that
good
one
too.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, what are we doing? There's too
I
many
don't know.
good
I don't wanna-
choices.
I
Mission
wanna decide
Impossible.
here.
Should we like pick some top
Labyrinth,
candidates and put it on the
Super
social for them to
Troopers.
vote?
Yeah.
Let's
Super
do that.
Troopers.
Okay, so
we're
we're
gonna create a list.
We'll
of
go
new
through
and
this
old.
chat
Con
and
Air.
try to pull from some of
Yeah,
this too.
We'll take like
Mario movie.
4 choices or something, and then put it on BTS Pod social. Let them vote, and we'll pick it.
All right, that sounds good.
So, guys, again, follow our
Pokemon.
podcast Twitter at BTS Pods. We're going to be putting up a movie poll to decide what movie Buffed will be discussing next. It might be some newer options like Thor or Justice League, and it might be some old classics like Sandlot or Starship Troopers.
Well, I'm pretty sure
or-
we're going to do Justice League at some point.
The big ones we have to.
Justice League and Star Wars, I'm pretty sure those are on the docket.
Star Wars,
It's just
definitely.
whether we're going to do Thor Ragnarok. I actually think Thor Ragnarok is going to be better than Justice League, but
It's gonna be fun. It's
gonna be fun.
That's gonna be
I
a
still have to watch
fun
the
movie.
first one.
you haven't watched the. You mean the first and the second
Thor?
one, by the way?
I
There's
watched.
two.
I watched the first one. I didn't watch
Wait,
the
there's
second one.
two?
Yeah, Dark Elves.
Oh, I'm so behind. All right, I got movies to watch if we're going
Is
to
it really?
Dark
Really?
Elves is the
I haven't seen
the
it.
evil people in the second movie.
I just know that he lives on Rainbow Road. What is that called?
Huh?
What is the Rainbow
The
Road?
Valhalla Road thingy?
Valhalla, but it's. Dude, I made a clip once for.
You can't just put me on the spot
For
like that.
big.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so there's a band called Big Gigantic, and I made a clip once that was supposed to be the bridge in Thor for their visuals for a show they had.
Bridge
and
to Terabithia.
And I named it something. Eric, do you remember what it is? No,
Frost
that's not
something?
it. It's not it. Whatever.
Frost
I hate my life.
Dragon.
All right, so we're gonna have a poll. Follow at BTS Pods.
Follow BTS
Take a
Pods.
Bifrost. The Bifrost.
No.
The
no,
Bifrost?
it's not what it's fucking called.
Bifrost is a Brood War map.
Oh.
Zealous won his OSL using that map.
Anyways, our little movie buff children out there listening in and grown-ups, if you want to catch all of our updates on what our next podcasts are going to be and when they're going to be coming out between Movie Buff, Hot Cocks, show priorities, and other good stuff, catch out BTS Pods.
BTS Pods. Follow BTS Pods. All right.
People who sell stuff also hit us up. It could be your name before Movie Buffed, so let's not forget that. Right now it's
Lionsgate.
Blank.
Feel free to.
Movie Buff, presented by Blankness.
We'll
you know?
definitely do a Disney movie if Disney wants to sponsor the podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but that's only if they want to sponsor.
You want to
the
do Lion
podcast.
King?
I still think we have to do. We have to
Lion King's an allegory.
do a best of Disney with
political allegory. Lion King.
Uni. Okay.
You want to hear that theory?
All right. Let's close the
All
show.
right,
We're
you
dragging.
guys, we're
Let's
out of
go.
here. For Dan and for Ken, I'm Dakota. We'll see you for more future BTS podcast action.
See
Take
ya.
care.